Seatbelt malfunction. Welcome to the Pt3.
Friday night. Damn. Friday night. We were talking earlier because we were going to do a game night tonight. We would usually do them on Fridays. And we were talking earlier. And I was going to be making another channel for my sports show. And we weren't sure with all of the theme show music and all that other stuff. Probably get in trouble. So we're going to go ahead. I did what I needed to do for my sports show, but it's not quite ready to use for streaming. So we'll probably be doing the games tomorrow night instead, and it'll be on this channel because it won't be monetized, and I won't get in trouble. So I'll be streaming the game show stuff on this channel now tomorrow night, but I got to do some finishing stuff on it in order to be able to do that. So we're going to cover Henryetta horror case tonight. There was a lot of people reaching out to me to finish up. We did part 1 and part 2 with this interview. This is going to be part 3. So any of the people that haven't checked out the other 2, definitely go check them out after this one. I will put the link to the actual show that we're finishing up on, the part 3. I'll put that actual full show link in the chat. So that way, if you guys, we're going to be starting off at, let me see what the timestamp is. Why is there commercials? 1 second. I pay so commercials don't pop up. Okay, so I think it was about the 2. We'll be starting at the 2:15 timestamp of this video. I'll put the link to the video in chat, and you can save it to your playlist. We did check out up until the 2:15 minute mark. So if you wanted to hear the rest or the pre of what we're listening to, because we split it up in 3 parts because it's a long one. So we're going to be listening to the 3rd part of what we were listening to in the show. But there's the link so you can save it to your playlist. We'll be starting at 2 hours and 15 minutes. So definitely check out the first 2 hours and 15 minutes for sure, because it's Holly's aunt who's on their panel. This is Kate Does Crimes channel, and it is Holly's aunt who's on panel, Dylan. And so very important conversation. You'll definitely want to hear the whole thing. Now, this is from a couple weeks ago. And I know that Kate's done some other streams after that. But this is the one that we were focusing on. We're going to finish this one up, and then we're going to get into some of these updates. If you have any documents, go ahead and send them to me. I'll keep saving them until we get to the end. And let me throw her link up in chat. 1 second. And so let me share the channel. So this is Kate Does Crime. And this is from the episode Henryetta Murders, Updates, and Discussions from 2 weeks ago. So here's the channel link. So we're going to chill back, check out the rest of this advanced interview. Then we're going to go into these updates and get into some discussion about this. Might even check one of my old highlights too. All right, Kate Does Crime. Share this tab again. We're at the 2 hour and 15-minute mark. All right, we'll go full screen on that. Turn down the music and we will get into the rest of this. This is a crazy, crazy interview. A lot of stuff. Just a lot more in depth of all the news stuff that was coming out and all the interviews. This is more in depth of the experience and kind of what was going on. And thank you everybody for hopping in to check this case out. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of feeling under the weather right now. That's why I had to bump the time back a little bit. Let me say hi to everybody. I apologize about that. I'm sorry about that. I want to say thank you to Lisa for the sub, Steve, Tammy. Whoa, that's a long name. Psychic Investigator. Yes, welcome. Frank, thank you. Skittles, what's up? Crime on a Dime. Pam, thank you for hopping in. Oh, thank you for putting that up there. Aw, thank you so much. All I find are super chat. Well, when somebody, I think it pops up when somebody does a gift, and then you can click on the gift to turn the gifts on. Is that how it works, everybody? Yeah, as the night goes on, we'll find out for you for sure. What's up, Shine Like a Diamond? Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you stumbled across us too. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather here at the moment. We'll figure it out. Caught up on some fast info in the case. It is, isn't it? It's disturbing the type of crap that was going down on this. Oh, thank you too. Seashells, what's up? Doc Terry, thank you for hopping in. Jessica. What's up, Ice? There's Kib Kitty. Definitely have to put that up there. So yeah, if you're into sports, and then anytime we do the game show stuff, it'll be on that channel. So tomorrow night I'll be probably doing the game show if I feel better, for sure, because I don't know what's going on with my stomach. Yeah, we'll be doing that. And then Sunday mornings is when I'm going to be starting my sports show. So I'll be doing my sports show over there. Link to the show. That way you can save it to your playlist. Like I said, we're starting off at 2:15. This Kate Does Crime. Josie, what's up? Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that for becoming a member. Thank you. Make it a short tonight. Oh boy. I mean, there's not much that's came out. You know, we are going to finish this one. Definitely, you want to check the first 2 hours and for 15 minutes after. I mean, it's a crazy interview. And then there's a couple updates, but I wanted to do an episode. There's a lot of people reaching out, asking me to do another episode the last week and a half. So, oh, thank you so much. It's interesting. It's been a while since we covered it. All right, let's go ahead and get back into this. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Crazy stuff in this. It's a long episode, but it's worth the listen, trust me. And it was a great job by Tia and Kate Does Crime too.
So anyone could have gotten the house at any time.
If you see like the Brahms ice cream stuff,
like I heard a recording of him that was very foul.
Ooh.
And like, oh, it was horrible. It was like I'll just say, you know, like when those creepy people like prank call you and like heavy breathing.
It's worse than a heavy breather.
Yeah. It was awful.
Do you see the? I'm asking her to look really quick on her documents. If you see like the Brahms ice cream stuff,
I just know that on the 8th, OSBI issued a search warrant on the Avalanche, and I remember that they had taken lids and straws from fast food restaurants, but I can't remember what they were.
I'm looking right now to see.
I know. I'm reading through the papers.
If it says Brahms, then 100% what that person told you is. It's obvious that they were truthful because, and like they swabbed for DNA on the dome light. I mean,
did you see the drawer that was full of?
I took the picture. Would y'all like to see it?
Okay. What was it full? Let me ask this. If you can answer, can you say what it was full of?
One side was a basket full of medication. It's going to probably upset some people when I say this. None of the medication was missing from some of the bottles, meaning it was prescribed but never taken.
Okay.
And on the other side was a bunch of liquor bottles and some dispensary things, some kind of patches, THC patches.
Okay.
And the thing is, on Friday night, they made me go in and secure the house and I had some personal things I wanted to get out there. We had put a bar up on one of the windows because none of the windows in the house had locks. except in Riley and Tiffy's room, that window was nailed shut. So anyone could have gotten the house at any time. We literally, the godmother's daughter broke a broom and we wedged it in so someone couldn't lift, because our fear was that teenagers were going to be like, oh, let's go break into the murder house, find the drugs. And I told the deputy, I was like, look, if teenagers do what they did, they break in here and they overdose, I'm going to tell the whole world you knew there were drugs in there and didn't take them. And I do want to clarify this. I did not flush them. I asked the detective, can I at least flush them if you're not going to take them? And he said, I need to ask my supervisor. Well, he never got back to me. So I literally went in Friday night and made a point to shut every single door, every door, the office door, the bathroom doors, and the bedroom doors. I shut every door and turned off every light. When I got there, I was the first family member to go in the house. 3 doors were open in that drawer that we left in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I can send you a picture of before and after. You can tell everything that was stolen out of it. So somebody went in Friday night.
Oh my God! I gotta get
the little package of white stuff. I don't know if it was cocaine, crystal meth. I'm not a drug user. I just see it in movies, so I would have to speculate what was in it. But it was a white substance in a little clear Ziploc, and not a tiny zip. Like, you know, when you get a bathing suit or an extra button,
Yeah,
it was a little Ziploc bag like that. That was gone too. A syringe was gone that was full. And
the one that was there, I saw that.
And the first day I went, I don't know, dummy, wore sandals, but on Friday. Saturday, I decided to put on, I didn't have work clothes. So I just threw on some tennis shoes. Thank God, because in the laundry room, I asked somebody to grab all the clothes out of the dryer because we were trying to get an article of clothing for each person. And, and I figured whatever they recently wore would be in the dryer. And when I went to kick because somebody had taken the laundry basket and dumped it. When I kicked it, the needle went in the bottom of my tennis shoe.
Oh my God!
I was like, had this been yesterday, whatever was in the needle would be in my skin.
Yeah.
Thank
God.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't even know what's in it. So literally had to get like a towel and then I just tossed it up on the top of that cabinet.
I found the.
This is a crazy story. Sorry, I had my stomach was turning. I had to run away for a second. Let me get back to chat. I want to say thank you for that. I appreciate that, Verity. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sorry about the no sound there for a second. Oh, my stomach. Sorry, my stomach. It was... Hold on. Did you send me Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me send you a link. I'm sorry, my stomach is just... Oh. Give me 1 second. We'll get Kid Kitty up here, too. It's definitely a crazy interview. It's so sad. This is the aunt of the wife. The aunt of the wife. Oh, wow. No, not getting the bad air. I don't know. I got done eating. And then my stomach felt a little odd, but right before the show, I'm sitting here in my chair and my stomach is just like twisting and turning. What's up, Kid Kitty?
Hey, sorry you're not feeling good.
I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. Just came out of nowhere.
A couple people are having a problem getting a membership.
Why? What's up? I didn't see that.
I
saw Doc. Thank you. Yeah, it's gut cramps. but I don't eat Chinese food. What's the problem? I know the gifts, accepting gifts, but I think you have to wait until a gift is given in order to turn on gifts, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you don't. What
you
you do is, what you do is you click out of chat to the main page of yours, and then there should be a button. Let me think here for a second. It's how I did it. There should be a button. You click on the join button. Well, take that back. When you go to the main page, up in the right, it says join, and then the middle has 3 dots. You click on the 3 dots, and you go down and you push the bar to the right, and then your gifts are open to be received. So go to the main page where the bell is, and there's 3 dots in between the bell on the right and the join button on the left. You hit the 3 dots to go open gifts to receive them. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah. Thanks for letting them know. Hopefully that works. If it don't, let us know. And then also you can search it in Google too.
And then on the join button, you should be able to get a membership from that button. But you have to open the receive gifts on the 3 dots.
Okay.
So they can let us know if it doesn't work.
Yeah, just let us know if it don't work. And then, because we'll have to pause it here and there anyway. Yeah, just let us know. So you don't think this lady's reliable, Josie? I don't know. I don't see a reason why she has to make anything up. Now, I don't know when I listen to her, I don't know why she would make anything up. But let me know. Explain, Josie. I'd like to hear your thought and opinion, for sure. All right, we're gonna go back to this, watch a little more, and then we'll pause again. It just, man, I don't know. Just walking in there, it had to be so. It had to be so like, I don't know, Josie. When you find out, I'll play some of the earlier videos, Josie, when you see what these family members walked into after the Ellie said it was not a crime scene anymore, in what they walked into.
Exactly.
you would have been searching. Yeah, it's horrible. All right, we'll get back into this. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
The one for the Chevy Avalanche.
Yeah.
And it says 8 latent print cards, 4 pair swabs, exterior door handles.
Oh, it's okay. All right.
Route 66 lanyard with 2 Brinks keys on ring, straw from driver's side, flat lid cup. I know I saw Braum somewhere, but it doesn't say Braum. It says 2 McDonald's McCafe cups. But I swear I seen Braum's
somewhere.
And
the Route 66 lanyard, that had to have been Holly's, because the purse I got out of her Challenger or Charger, whatever that car is, was a Route 66 themed purse.
Yeah.
So that lanyard had to have been hers.
Probably matched it.
Yeah. I know some people were saying, oh, that's a Sonic. No, it was not a Sonic theme, because she had a Route 66 theme purse. What else did they take from the Avalanche?
Where did they find Jesse?
His body?
Yeah.
His body, Holly, Michael, and Tippy were all together.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought he was separate from them.
Mm-hmm. They were 4 together. We're near each other. I don't know what I have not seen photographs, but we were told that those 4 were together and the other 3 were a quarter of a mile down on the up.
Mhm.
It's so weird. Like, speculating here, it makes me wonder if he had done different things on different days. Like,
That's
especially because the phones being this the thing about the phones on Friday, and clearly he took their phones and hid them.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, is like, was it done in different days? Because it's just strange to me how they.
And that night when he texted or sent a message on the holidays, he was using Holly's phone.
Oh,
Do you know which phone was broken? Was it his phone that was broken that was found?
We were told that if it was his, if it wasn't his, then they haven't located his phone. So there's no telling, there were so many phones in that house.
Right now, it's even we could assume that it was, but
Yeah, but this is what has always bothered me. Why remove the bodies from the house? To me,
I don't think he did. I'll be
exactly,
honest.
because
there would be
Well,
like,
To
no,
me,
I think he led
this
them
is
out.
my theory. Is this?
Tell me.
Why would you, if you're just you leave a crime scene, you obviously don't care what people know because you left a horrible crime scene. You would only care if the bodies were in the house if you had to clean it, or you were going to be someone trying to rent it or sell it in the future.
and you said they were going around the house with that like the blue luminol light, right?
Blue luminol.
All I seen was that bed.
And
And
I mean, I feel like they would have looked everywhere, like eventually.
Yeah,
and
I'm
they would have
sure.
seen
I'm
if
sure
she
they
had-
did, but I only seen the OSBI with that little bed that was in the living room. That is it. And they were just taking what looked like a neon, like a black
Yeah.
light.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if they found anything or on it or anything. I just happened to be walking out as they were running a light. It looked like a black light. I don't.
Yeah, it looks like a flashlight, but it's a black light. Is that what they were running?
Yeah, and it was long. It wasn't like a flashlight. It was like a long, looked like,
Like a
like
tube
a
light.
fluorescent light.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like a long, and I don't know if they found anything. They didn't tell me nothing. I just kept walking because I honestly just did not want to know.
Yeah.
You hadn't heard enough.
I thought it was strange too that Riley was found with the 2 friends, but weren't they Tiffany's friends?
Yes, but if they were, his type. Maybe the age range was more.
Hold on one second.
I'm trying not to say that. Oh God,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
awful.
My best friend just recently had her first grandchild, so she's sending me a picture.
Oh.
Oh, congratulations to your
I
best friend.
know. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to squeeze the little guy. He's so cute.
Oh.
But something that it just always bothered me that great care was no crime was inside the house. It just made no sense.
Mm-mm.
So you were
Yes.
saying that the kids' beds were made. Was Michael's bed was made?
It looked made, yeah.
Somewhat, yeah, but
It didn't look as neat as the other one.
Yeah,
It looked-
like-
He's a boy.
it was-
I'm going to cut him some slack. But I mean, it was tossed over where, like, clearly we'll call it the master bedroom was where the mess was. Is that correct?
Say that again. Where what mess up?
Is that where, like, the cow print sheet pillow thing was, where the chains were? Is that was the master bedroom, correct?
That was Holly's bed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I haven't even said this to anybody, but on Saturday we were emptying out dresser drawers.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere in that house did I found a pair of men's underwear or socks.
What?
Really?
Some of my family members didn't think that was odd. They're like, men don't wear, but there was not one pair of underwear or one pair of socks for him.
It's weird.
Oh, see,
my
I
son
find that very
doesn't like
weird.
to wear. My son doesn't like to wear underwear because he has like a he doesn't like socks on his
Yeah.
toes. He has a very I forget
Sensory issues.
Sensory issues.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't know a 40-year-old man.
No, I don't either.
Mm-mm.
Especially someone that's incarcerated. I just found that odd. Maybe someone in the chat.
It is
No,
odd.
that
I
is
think
odd.
it's odd.
It was just weird as I was going through, because that's a small dresser. And I
Even
was
though
like,
my son doesn't like wearing underwear, I still got tons of underwear.
because we made a
It's true,
point not
you
to take anything of his. Nothing. If you see the Scrabble pieces with their names, Holly
Yeah.
made that and Jan wanted it, but she was like, do not bring me his name.
Yeah.
So we did not take anything that belonged to that man.
I don't blame it. I wouldn't want to see any of it. Someone asked if there was a campfire pit on the property.
Now, I did see one that was like not dug in the ground, but one that you would buy like at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't venture off really because ticks were really bad. We were all getting ate up with ticks. But so I don't know. But I did see right there in there, and there was also those sticks to make s'mores. But it's just like a little fire pit. We all have them living on Fort Bragg. We all had them at one time.
Mm-hmm.
John, you know what I'm saying?
We have one, yeah.
Yeah, I seen one of those. But as far as like one that was dug in the ground, I don't remember seeing one. No.
Oh, and I didn't know if you finished. You were saying like your theory. What was your theory of how they ended up far away from the house?
I just think that why go to all that effort if you're going to kill yourself? Unless at some point you're somebody that have an interest in that house, meaning nobody's going to want to rent a house or buy a house that happened in. It's just something that keeps playing in my head.
Don't disagree with you. I think that we're all thinking the same thing. But also I'm looking at it from a standpoint that he's only 150 pounds. So I think, and he's a sadist. I think he walked them out. I think he made them walk out, and he had a weapon in order.
But we know four of
That's
them
so
wasn't walked there.
far.
We know three of them, because I don't count him. But we know that was not the location. Michael, Tiffany, and Holly. That was not the original. So I want to know, where's the original crime scene?
They were believed to be moved, I guess.
Yep, and moved in stage. So if it wasn't inside the house and it wasn't where they were located, where's your crime scene?
Okay, thank you for clearing that up, because that was...
Yeah.
And that is what he said. This is directly what the lead investigator said, that he only follows evidence, and the evidence says
that guy, Joe.
Yeah, he's the one that said he was going to arrest me.
He's going to arrest you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I think he was just mad because I kept questioning, like, why aren't you taking these restraints? Why aren't you taking these drugs? And when I said, if a teenager comes in here and steals this, I am going to tell the whole world you knew and did nothing about it.
And
that's
what was
when
he going
said,
to arrest you on, based on what exactly?
That's what I said. For what? I've never in my life even dealt with police before.
Let me understand this one more time, because I'm such a fan of Joe Prentice. I can't even tell you. He makes my head spin around and I spit out pea soup. But he couldn't follow. You're lucky. It almost came out. He couldn't follow the leader, Joe. But I would like to know, you're a family member that he just threatened. I want to add this to the icing on the cake for Joe Prentice. I want to make sure this is out there too. Joe Prentice told you, a family member who's helping, that he would arrest you because you were saying how it needed to be taken care of.
No, he said he wanted me, the godmother, and the godmother's daughter to leave because... Wait, are 911 records public knowledge? Is records? Could you call and get a copy of a 911 call?
Once they release them for you, yes, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We made a call from 911, so get that record. The godmother did, because there was some yelling on Mr. Webster's part. He did apologize, so I don't even want to go there, but it's all on the 911 call.
Okay.
He said to me and the godmother and her daughter, I want y'all to leave because I think if I leave, it's going to get volatile again. And we all said, no, we've all said sorry. There's not going to be any you know, but
Yeah.
he goes, I don't care, I want y'all to leave. And he was like, look, he said, look at me now. Are you going to leave? And he's shaking his head. I was like, yeah. Like, I'm thinking, do you think I'm going to sleep here tonight?
So Dylan is the aunt of Holly. Holly is the wife of Jesse. Jesse is the person that, according to the local LE, unalived Holly and 5 children and then himself. This is in Henryetta, Oklahoma. Yes, Josie, he had went to Walmart the Wednesday before the crime took place and purchased a lot of these chains and locks. He was supposed to go to court Monday morning on a previous charge case that he was in the midst of, and was not going to be out on bail anymore or bond, and didn't even show up to court. And so there was a couple of the friends of the girls that stayed over for a slumber party, and the parents, the kids never came back home. The parents contacted the LE, and then after Jesse didn't show up to court that Monday morning, they went out there, and then that's when they discovered what they discovered. They had put out an Amber Alert. Well, not even an Amber Alert. I forgot what the specific term is called. I guess it wasn't an Amber Alert. It was something else like that. They put that out there when they went out to the property, searched the property. That's when they noticed what they noticed and went ahead and canceled that alert. And then, so basically, when they found out what they found out, they were doing their investigation. After they were done, they cleared the house for the family. The family wasn't even going to go in there at that point, but the landlord, and this was a Friday morning, the landlord contacted them and said they had until Monday morning to get whatever belongings they wanted to keep. Otherwise, everything was going to be getting thrown in the dumpster. So that's what made these family members, and there's other family members too that went out there, and that's what made these family members go out there to go see what they needed to retrieve before it went into the dumpster. And when they walked into the property, that's what they saw. And yeah, big time chalk, baby. Big time. What's up, Okie Crime News? I appreciate it. But yeah, it is you know, if you're not familiar with this, I'll play some of the first videos where you can actually see what they saw when they walked in, because it's actually the Ivy's father was taking video, and basically there was restraints, chains, locks, 3 computers, cell phones, photos, Polaroids, and nobody was taking the Polaroids, Josie. That's what they found. They found Polaroids of other victims. Yeah, it's a very, very disturbing case that involves a lot of different things. It's when we reached out to Henryetta Beth, or she reached out to us, but when we reached out for the conversation, you know, about having her on and interviewing her, the stuff is crazy, and some of that area just thinks it's normal because they're not exposed to the outside world. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Show the picture. Yeah, we will. If you have one already made up, Pam, go ahead and send it to me. Otherwise, I have some other videos that we're gonna check out, and you'll see all involved. But definitely, if you're not caught up with the case, I have a couple episodes that I've done already previously, and there's some highlight short videos in the video section too. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous with how all this stuff went down and the type of crap that exists down there. So we'll get back
And
to that.
the
Go
sad thing is, he was in prison for doing
Yeah.
what he did, and then did it while he was in prison.
Yeah.
With the underage, and
Yep.
still got let out.
Yep. Served 85% of his sentence. They let him out early.
Yeah.
Committed the crime like she said, committed the crime in prison that he committed to get in prison. And then he only had to show up once every 90 days, just walk into the sheriff's office just to check in. And that's all this gentleman had to do. And he was living with children. Here, I'm gonna switch to one of these first videos real quick, just so I can show everybody that isn't familiar with this. So I can show everybody what this family was walking into. Let me see here. It's one of these first ones. Sorry, I'm trying to find it here. It's in here somewhere. It's been so long. Let's see. Which I know it was a Banfield. Trying to find it. Video from inside. I think this is it right here. Okay, yeah. All right, so it is going to be disturbing. We're going to switch to this real quick. I'm going to show you guys what the hell, what these family members walked into. Let's check this out real quick.
I just want to give you this warning. They're about to take you on a tour through this home, and it is very, very uncomfortable, but you will learn a lot about.
Now, this is after LE said it wasn't a crime scene. The case was pretty much closed. These family members were asking these LE to take this evidence and what was left behind, and they're just like, you can either take it with you or we're just going to throw it away. Like, it's ridiculous.
This Jesse McFadden and what he may have done before killing those kids and his wife. Take a look.
Phone or phone case with like the screen ghost face on the back. Okay. I don't know.
Chunk Baby, you'll be interesting to hear about that very subject. Rose, I'm not sure. I don't see a message. Unless somebody maybe gifted you. I'm not sure. Is Rose? No, she's not. She's not green. Sent you a text if Banfield. Is it this one, Pam? Yeah, computer towers. Like, seriously. And you know, You know it wasn't moved because you know Ellie ain't hooking it all back up. They didn't have Geek Squad come out there and check the towers for CP. You know they didn't take the time to hook everything back up, so you know they didn't even touch it. Because look at the back of this tower when it zooms back down. You know that they're not hooking all that stuff back up. You know what I mean? They're not checking the computer real quick and then bringing it back and hooking it back up. They just left it.
Yeah, those are Tiffany skates.
Look at that picture, everybody. Look at that picture. I'll zoom in for you on the screen.
It's very disturbing, everybody. So, you know, if it's too much, you can come back in a few minutes.
It's ridiculous. And that's just, yeah, Geek Squad. What's up, Duckin? Because, you know, they didn't call up Geek Squad and have them come out and check the computer for CP. You know? So, you know, that it's ridiculous what was left behind.
Tiffany's bad print is the cow print.
And the cow slippers over here. Smells. Inner witch. Oh my god. What?
And those are all witchcraft books. Now, during our conversation with Henryetta Beth, witchcraft is not all that uncommon. She even talked to us about an experience she had with what do they call what did she say it was? The lady that just looked at her and told her what was wrong with her, and then when she went to the doctor was like, how in the hell did you know what was wrong with you? Because they found out what was wrong with her because she told them to look for certain things. And they were like, how did you know? What's up, Grizz? Yeah, they were like, how did you know? I can't remember if anybody was in that episode and remembers what she was referring to for the term of the doc, it was like the spiritual doctor or something. I can't remember the right term for it. Yeah, Grizz, if you want up, just send me a message, buddy. Waking are everywhere, and the ones I know are healing and light. Yeah. But these were her books, I guess. These were her books. What's up, Quartz and Carl?
On the floor over there.
That's
See this? Get the fuck up right here. How is this not it?
This is the room. Do you remember when they said that they were making Riley sleep on their bedroom floor?
yes.
Where was she sleeping at? There is no room on that floor. And then you're come over here and you don't know what's doing.
Cockroaches and bugs but they were making the kids sleep on the floor.
Give me something to grab.
Take
a picture.
Take pictures.
It's on video.
That's them.
It's on-
Hey, that's them.
Okay.
Use this sack. Don't keep locked there.
No, those locks?
That's evidence too.
So is those
You
drugs.
just want those.
Is
That's
that
it.
hers?
Yep. Okay. Hold on.
Call the sheriff.
Yep.
Don't touch them. Don't move them.
Let's back out.
That's good.
Okay. I'm calling him.
Smokey.
Are you done looking?
No.
No. I'm not done looking, but that's evidence.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, this is Justin Webster, Ivy Webster's dad. Ivy Webster was one of the children that was a victim of the crime. So they noticed cell phones sitting up in a cupboard. And yeah, we're not saying that the witchcraft was involved with the crime, but she did know about it, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, she knew. Now, Jesse had hired a female to impersonate the victim that was, quote, the reason why he was still in the courts because of what he was charged with and what he went to prison for. Now, there's word that he had hired some girl to pretend to be her to play it off like it was no thing. It was a misunderstanding. But I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. The more you get into it, I can't wait until I can get a voice changer thing and we can put the Henryetta Beth interview out on YouTube, because it's crazy, after you watch some of this and then you hear what she has to say. It's just like, dang. What's up, SRB? There's journals and all sorts of stuff. Ellie didn't take a lot with him. And you never know that it could definitely be that he wasn't even the one that did, that unalived everybody and himself. It could have been him and everybody getting unalived too. We don't know that right now. There's so much stuff that doesn't make sense about this case. You can't say something did or didn't right now. All we know is that there was a lot of sick, twisted stuff going on inside that property. And that's what we do know. And with what was left behind, you can't tell me these restraints, the cell phones, the computer towers, the journals, the Polaroids, the clothing with red stuff that was still moist, because when somebody found it, it got on their hand and arm because it was still moist with red stuff. And it was 3T baby clothing. 3T baby clothing with red stuff still moist. So the person that found it actually got it on their hand. They didn't take anything.
He used our daughter's cell phone.
And whatever's behind that.
Yep. Okay.
And they're not concerned about looking anywhere else.
Obviously.
This house needs to be stripped. Oh my God. Okay. Do me a favor.
It's coming, so don't touch anything.
No, that's what I was telling you.
But we touched everything today because we had permission from the sheriff. But we didn't touch the phones. But I was not in the state when this happened, so. Let's go.
Well, this honey. This man is a freaking monster. And his wife was too.
This one's my daughter's. I want to know what else is up here and in here. I think there's more. There's computers.
Somebody's tablets.
You know.
Well, did you notice the ring?
The ring?
See that ring? The wedding ring right there.
Oh, I thought you were saying the camera. God, that would have been great.
This is on video.
Yeah, I'm just getting all the stuff up there.
Well, I mean, I didn't say too much of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, but there's a big old machine.
But that's a weapon. So
And it's in here with all this sexual paraphernalia.
And then those were right there. They obviously didn't look too hard.
No.
Look, is that another phone or what is that? Look, hey, that one's still on. That could...
I mean, this stuff was just laying out. Drugs, syringes. Like, just laying out. It was all over the place. Just laying there. They didn't take one thing. You're going to tell me there's another interview where the aunt that's on the show that we were watching a second ago, that aunt, there's an interview with Banfield where she starts asking her about what else she found, and she brings up the Polaroids, and the aunt and Banfield was asking if the aunt could describe the Polaroids, and her facial, she totally choked up, became at a loss for words, didn't even know how to navigate what she was trying to explain of what was inside her mind of what she saw, and she couldn't even explain it. And her trying to get through that part while she's obviously remembering what she saw on the Polaroids, she just can't say it. Her trying to get through that on Banfield live TV. And you're going to tell me that those, I'm assuming, are potential victims. And you got all this stuff laying around. And just because nobody was alive on the property, it's pretty much wipe my hands clean, case closed, because nobody else is alive. And we're just going to leave everybody behind. You know, if you don't want to take it home, it's getting tossed in 2.5 days. You better come get it.
Whatever that tablet thing is.
Yeah, it's on.
Not only that.
Look at that.
The needles.
And needles?
Hey,
Oh my.
that's cocaine works. It's gotta be.
So look.
Thank you for watching.
All that stuff just left behind. Can you imagine the computers set up with webcams, multiple monitors? They just left them. Who knows what's on those freaking computers alone? Who knows what's on all the cell phones that were left inside? It's not like they looked, because in the beginning of this video, the dad was looking in the freaking cupboard. Where's it at? He was looking in the cupboard, and yeah, this is when they were walking in.
A phone or phone case with like the screen ghost face on the back.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's a
I don't know.
phone.
Yeah, those are Tiffany skates.
DJ,
What?
Tiffany's bad print is
should you have
the
a
captain.
graphic warning
You
on
know
the screen?
that cap
Oh, you
zipper
got it. Never mind. I'm sorry.
right here?
That is. You know which? Oh my God.
What?
Give me something to grab.
Take a picture. Take pictures.
It's on video.
That's them.
It's on-
Hey, that's them.
Okay.
Use this sack. Don't keep locked.
And that's where the phones were. All they had to do was open the cupboard door and see the stack of phones on the shelf. All they had to do was open the cupboard door. And it was right there. Who knows what's in these cupboards behind that? What is it? Must be a cooler or a fridge of some sort. Or a dryer or washer or something blocking it. There's something blocking it. It's a utility room. And they had, they could have just opened the cupboard. It's definitely messed up. Oh, it restarted my timestamp. I think we were... Crap, where were we at in that interview? Because it reset it back to the old... where I was at before. I think we were about right here. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. I just wanted to take a pause from this video real quick. And Rose, reach out to me if you need some help if it's not fixed, and then I can give you a hand. I wanted to show that real quick. Oh, yeah. It is. I wish I could just put it all in a 10-minute little presentation of all the... It's just, oh.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is. It is. Not far, just skip a little. I think it was about right here,
Didn't
maybe.
do it in separate days. I think it's very possible that he could have had someone helping him or something like that, because I just find it crazy that he would be able to handle that many people at one time without somebody escaping or somebody.
And I'm going to pause it again. I really feel like he had to have used some kind of substance or something in order to incapacitate these people to get them to a point. What they're saying is true. Like, I don't understand how he would have been able to take control of all of these people. They obviously said the crimes were committed somewhere else because of where the bodies were and what wasn't there. And it didn't happen inside the property, so it had to have happened somewhere else. Yeah, this is after they cleared the scene, Grizz. LE cleared the scene, said it was over. The only reason the family came out there was because it was a Friday morning and the landlords contacted the family members and told them, you have until Monday morning to come take whatever you want to take from the house. Otherwise, it's going in the dumpster. So then that's when all the family members were like, well, shoot, we better hurry up and go there and see what we can save. And then when they got there and they walked in, that's what they walked into. That video that we just watched. That's what they walked into. Then when LE came back out there, because they called LE, then it is up there, SRB. It's next to the graphic warning letters. Sorry, I lost my damn train of thought. Yeah, the graphic warning's up there. It should be. Is it showing?
Yeah, it shows.
Was it? Okay. I don't know. StreamYard's been buggy. I got a message about it.
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay. Yeah, and when Ellie came back out there,
contacted. Oh, sorry.
yeah, when Ellie came back out there, the family members were like, "Why aren't you taking these restraints? Why aren't you taking this? And they were just like, nobody's alive anymore. The case is pretty much closed. Either take it with you or throw it in the garbage," is what the responses were to them. They wanted it over and done with as quick as possible.
Exactly.
No wonder the landlord was calling the dumpster over there. What are you supposed to do with all that except throw it in the dumpster? I'm going to show you guys the property layout here after we're done watching this. I'll show you the property. I'll show you Alex Erickson did a good where all the locations were, but I don't know if we'll really need to get into that. But I'm going to show you the property, show you the general areas. It is definitely crazy. Definitely need to get that voice changer because a lot of the that conversation with Beth needs to be heard for sure.
Oh yeah,
it needs to be heard because there's a lot of things that are, I don't know. It just, like she said, it needs to be put. It needs to be out there. It needs to be talked about, and people are scared. They can't even. They're afraid to even call. Like who?
Like that.
Like who else
like
have you heard of on YouTube being from? You know what I mean? Like who else is called in from there? Who?
Right.
Like they're
and
scared.
like Beth said, people are afraid to talk because they're stuck there because it is such a poor area. Did she say?
Yeah, it's poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even had animal they could tell that there were animal sacrifices on the property too. Thank you for bringing that up, Rose. And when you look at all the land and the structure and all the containers and just it's. Oh yeah, sorry, 7 people. But yeah, there was they could tell that it was obvious that the animals were sacrificed according to the family members. You know what I'm saying, Rose? Can you imagine if you're finding Polaroids, right? If you're finding Polaroids, I did make a highlight out of that. We'll watch that one. We'll watch that video. We'll go check out some of the old highlights too, because it does have a lot of these videos in here that we would go see anyway. So, man, I'm feeling a little better now with the stomach. All right, I'm on the right track. So we'll get back to this. I'll just leave this. I'm gonna switch between graphic. You know what? Let me put this up here. Oh, Rose, like seriously, it. Oh my. Sometime you're available, Rose. Sometime when you're available for like 2.5 hours, let me know. Well, OSBI took it over. OSBI took it over, and this is the tricky part about it too. The sheriff and the task force were in charge of the investigation. Okay, so by requesting OSBI's help, that put OSBI basically in a position where they could only assist them on what they wanted them to assist on. So basically, the sheriff and the task force said, OSBI, we want your help, but we only want your help for this, this, and this, not this, this, and this. So OSBI couldn't overstep the hierarchy based on the investigation hierarchy, right? So once the sheriff and the task force considered the crime scene cleared, then OSBI was able to come back in and then take over the investigation, and that's what took place. So that's why you haven't heard, because before OSBI took over, the Friday that all of this stuff came out, the Saturday, the next morning, is when OSBI took over. Because remember, it was a Friday morning when the landlord contacted the family members and said, if you don't get this stuff out of here by Monday morning, it's going to start going into a dumpster. That's what made the family members go out there. And then that's when they started taking the video, contacting their lawyers, all of this stuff. And then Saturday morning is when OSBI came out with a statement and said, okay, we are now taking over this investigation. Once that took over, then everything's been hush hush. And that's why, oh man, there's so much to this. There's so much to this. And once I can get Henrietta's, because one of the things when Henrietta Beth reached out, she reached out because she felt comfortable. She, appreciated the show. She loved the show. She just couldn't type much because we started covering this case, and as we were covering it, during I think it was after the first episode of us talking about it, that's when she reached out to me and said that people were noticing her typing, and they knew who she was. So, and then after at that point, then as we're kind of getting into this case more, I'm starting to go like, a lot of this stuff don't make sense. But what would make sense is this and this and this, because that's the only thing that would make sense why LE's acting the way they're acting, the community's acting the way they're acting, why the landlord's acting the way he's acting, like all this stuff. None of it made sense until certain other things started coming out as I was doing prep, and I started. It was like lighting light bulbs. I'm like, wait a minute. Now this would make sense why it would go down like this. So then when we talked to Henrietta Beth, I was like, do you think this could be possible? What about this? What about that? Do you think this is connected? It's a lot bigger. I don't know if you're familiar with Delphi. What's up, Sunny Days? Thank you for hopping in. Hope you are too. If you're familiar with Delphi, it goes deep. It's bigger than what's on the surface. And there's a reason why everything is hush hush, for sure. And I have a feeling it's going to be hush hush for a long time, because when you're dealing with, just look at Delphi. when you're dealing with those kind of crimes and the webs that are all connected to all of that, when they say tentacles, that's what it is. There's so many tentacles to it that it's just, I mean, just look at Delphi. Delphi is similar situation, but this has, you know, Delphi was you know, at the park and dealt with some of the CP, but this is like the CP, but at the same time, this dude just got let out early for no reason, for credits, but you're committing the same crime in prison that you committed to get there, which doesn't make sense why you get out early. Basically only had to check in one time every 90 days at the sheriff's office. They came out there one time to do a check, and they're not even allowed to go in. Yes, very poor areas. Very poor. So we're going to get it back to some of this interview. Definitely, since there's some new people hopping in, here's the link to this episode. This is Kate Does Crime. She had the interview. She's had a lot of great interviews on this case too. This one is Kate Does Crime. And this is where they're talking to Dylan. This is from 2 weeks ago. We started at the timestamp 2 hours and 15 minutes because in our other episodes we had a part 2 of this and we had a part 1 of this. Plus we also covered a lot of the updates and stuff. So if you do have any free time to chill back and just listen with the headphones or something, definitely check those other episodes out. And another quick way to get familiar with this case is my highlight short videos too. There's a lot of info in those. So we're going to get back to this one, and then we'll get into the Google layout, and I'll show you kind of what we're looking at when it comes to the whole area.
You know what I mean? Like,
And he's only 150 pounds.
But he does have a weapon.
And how did you move everything? You know, like it wouldn't shock me if there was, you know, someone else that was.
Right. It's hard to hit somebody. It's hard to hit a moving, running object.
But by the grace of God, my hope, well, maybe they were out of it.
That's what I pray. And I know that's a horrible thing to think.
I mean, that's what I've said too, and I don't mean it disrespectfully. I mean it with all my heart.
Right.
I just pray that they weren't in their right mind.
And that's absolutely something I'm working with therapy is just, we'll never know, but it just bothers me. Did they see what happened to the, you know, I just, they're so beautiful, young, innocent children. God, why didn't he just take his own life? Nobody cared. Nobody would care in the whole world. Maybe Holly, but nobody else would have given a damn. Obviously, his mom didn't.
His mom, yeah.
Because he told his mom he was going to kill himself, and she left. So nobody would have probably gave a damn but Holly.
I'll never understand it, honestly. Besides him wanting to fulfill his own crappy.
So OSBI has an open case, but Henryetta has a closed case. Is that my understanding?
Yeah, he told me personally that this is a closed case. That's why the crime scene was open for us to come remove everything.
So that makes sense. When
Grizz, Grizz, you'd be amazed when you start digging into this one, Grizz. You'd be amazed. It's gonna make you think of Delphi in certain ways, man. It's there's networks, you know, Grizz, you know that when it comes to, because Grizz covers Delphi a lot. So if you're familiar with Delphi, definitely sub to Grizz. He does great edits with music. Definitely a talented individual. Definitely worth a sub. He does, you know, he does do a lot with the Delphi case, man. It's You'd be amazed, man. It's that network stuff. You know what I mean? It's that network stuff. What's up, Shazza?
The lead lady told me, she said, yes, because I said, well, they told us, because at first we were a little confused, like, are we in trouble for removing stuff? And she was like, you guys are not in trouble. You did not break any laws.
This is the wife that was unalived. This is her aunt.
This did not become an active crime scene until I stepped foot on it. So now it's an active crime scene. That is why I'm putting a halt to everything. She was like, so it did not.
Not Klein, but just the network part of it.
Become active until she stepped foot on the property.
So what happens, or the way it was explained to me, and it's
the network
very black and white, cut and dry. There is no gray area, middle ground. And this is hard for me to swallow because my life is gray area. I look for the gray area and everything. But the way the law looks at it, apparently, and this is my understanding, so if I'm incorrect, hopefully Eric can straighten me out, but there is a crime scene where the bodies are, okay? And they go in and they say, okay, we found the bodies. Here's the crime scene. Here's the perpetrator. Their job is to go in and find out who did it and the bodies. You know, like missing kids. Okay, found the missing kids. Here they are.
But isn't it their job to find like where it occurred?
No, because their job was to go in and find the missing kids and find out what happened to them. They found the missing kids. They found the bodies of the others, and they found the perpetrator. Case closed. Now, then there's this whole other aspect of it that OSBI has opened.
Yeah.
But according to Henryetta, it's closed on their,
you're right,
which is dumb. It's so freaking
this
stupid.
is how the OSBI explained it to us. The lady,
and it just reeks like a freaking cover up from the beginning to the damn end. I mean, I'm gonna play a highlight where it's about, you know, the sheriff. I follow all the evidence. My fucking ass, you do.
that I'm not saying her name because she hasn't said it. She was the lead. She was in charge of the scene.
No.
She said
that
y'all had.
I'll pause this real quick. They didn't know he had just been released. Jesse had just been released about a year and a half or so. Okay. Now the family members at that point, the aunt, the mom of Holly, they were not allowed to visit. They were not allowed to spend time with the kids even. Both Jesse and Holly had to be there in order for the other family members to visit with the children. The children were never allowed to go outside of Jesse and Holly, their care. They basically were made to be in situations where they weren't able to be left alone, where they could say what the hell was going on. There was pressure at all times, basically. And so when you're a family member in that situation, then you don't know what's going on because you're at a distance. You're trying to do whatever you can just to try and spend time, so then you make choices that maybe you normally wouldn't, because you know that if you don't make those choices, like staying back, you know that if you don't make those choices, then you're not going to be able to even spend any time. So it's kind of like it was one of those situations where they basically had to bow down and agree to, okay, well, yeah, we want to spend time with them, but, well, we have to be, okay. They were not allowed to. So there was a reason. They were meant to have a lot of pressure on them so they wouldn't talk. And that's the kind of situation. So I totally believe that the family... Now, the mom, I don't know. The mom of Holly, I have some questions, but I'm not going to say that, you know, that they're huge questions, but I don't know. I would hope to think, but I don't think she did. I really don't. But there are still some questions that I have.
And there's this whole other aspect of it that OSBI has opened.
Wow. Yeah.
But according to Henryetta, it's closed on their,
You're right.
which is dumb. It's so freaking
This
stupid.
is how the OSBI explained it to us. The lady that, I'm not saying her name because she hasn't said it. She was the lead. She was in charge of the scene. She said that y'all have every right to be here to collect your property. It was a cleared crime scene. But when I was called in today, the minute I stepped foot on this property, it became an active crime scene.
For OSBI.
For OSBI, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So you are 100%. From my understanding, it was no longer like when they were doing the interview, it was like, you may have shared this with Henryetta or Oskogie. I'm sorry if I'm saying that. No disrespect to anyone that lived there. I can never say that word correct. You need to retell us too.
Okmulgee.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. I just know when my friend was killed. He killed himself, lost the whole property. Yeah, exactly. And the thing was, Lori, he, and I love your profile picture. They had everything in that search warrant. They had the right to everything, the initial search warrant, and they didn't use it.
Right on, Rose.
They did not use it. They had every right to go into that house to collect.
Did. Yep.
I mean, they had a right to collect all the electronics in the first search warrant.
Right, because the lazy ass cop said, "Oh, case closed. Here's the perpetrator."
Yep.
Yeah, plausible deniability. Just like why they never really went out to the property when they had multiple family members. His ex-prison mate was reaching out to the LE he was not involved in any of those types of crimes. He wants to make that known. He was in there for robbery. But when he's reaching out to the local LE, telling them, yo, this is what this dude was incarcerated for. This dude lives at this property. This dude is living with children. You had family members reaching out to them. All, 8 or 9 people reaching out. Multiple times, some of them reaching out, telling them to go do a check on this. This is not right. Go check. And they don't go out there. Yeah, they don't go out there because they could easily say, well, I don't know. I didn't notice anything. Like, who knows what they're going to uncover of what was going on this property? Like, there's a lot of freaking... It's more than just what's on the surface. More than just what's on the surface. But it's plausible deniability, just like not walking into the freaking house even though you had a search warrant. Well, I didn't know that was in there. You're not lying. Plausible deniability. I don't know. I didn't see it. Freaking ridiculous.
Here's the victims, and we can see what they did, so we don't need to.
I'm going to search for the copy that they left in the house. It's somewhere. I just have hundreds of phones, and I will get it to both of y'all so y'all can post it. Because they just left a copy, and apparently I've learned that that's what they do. If you're not there to put it in your hand, they just leave a copy for you. So we have that copy. And
I'll post that everywhere, anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had every right. I mean, all those semis, like I said, they could have went in all of them. They could have gone in everyone's vehicle. They had every right to any electronic. I mean, it's just, the list is so long. And I was like, why didn't they use this? And I didn't, a lot of the family members were upset because when OSBI came, they didn't give us the search warrant, but I'm sure they had to give it to the property owner. They didn't owe us a copy of it. If you think about it, it wasn't our property or anything. And that's why they would have, if we did not consent to the search of each vehicle, they would have had to get a search warrant, and they would have got one. But we were like, there's no reason. Go ahead. We all consented. Every person there consented to having their vehicle searched. And the U-Haul was not rented by OSBI or anyone. It was rented by the family, and it was kept overnight just because it was dark by the time, and it was released the next day.
Well, the items that they took on the initial search warrant are, I will never understand.
They're like the stupidest thing, like a State Farm
Okay,
token.
the State Farm thing was a good thing because I have State Farm.
Oh.
Do you know that's like a tracking device?
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like a little like
a lot of people are saying that, but I have State Farm. It actually will let you know speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what LE did recover as evidence was a State Farm tracking device that helps you get better rates on your car insurance. They took that as evidence.
And all kinds. That was the only smart thing they did.
They didn't leave that
They didn't
behind.
take no fingerprints or no DNA or nothing. And then they took pictures, but I can tell you why they took pictures. A lot of people were like, why did they needed pictures?
Yes, Grizz. He was in prison. 2015 is when he was with the one cellmate that was actually reaching out to LE, letting him know, because he was actually, and this is the crazy part, this is where he ties in, that cellmate was actually being pen palled by Holly before Jesse was. She was actually a pen pal with him before Jesse was a pen pal with her. And once Jesse became a pen pal with her, he didn't really talk to her. They didn't really have conversations much anymore, but he still kept in touch with her after he got out. They were Facebook friends. Well spoke. Yes, the substances were very bad down in that area. Yeah, and that's what he reached out to his mother before the crime, and that's what he reached out and let his mother know. And she, now it's been a couple weeks, but I haven't heard anything different. She never contacted anybody. The property over should no longer belong to Mr. I mean, seriously, you know what I mean, Chalk Baby? I don't get it. All right, we'll get back to this. We got about 45 or so on this, and then we'll get into some of these other things. I'm going to show you the layout of the property. Yeah, Grizz, man, once you start doing some research and then looking up what he was charged with, all the charges, the times that he got in trouble while he was in prison, it's just like, how in the hell did this dude get out? You know, he served 85% of his sentence. With everything that took place, why didn't he, you know, if you're going to serve 15% less, why didn't he serve 15% more when you're committing those types of acts while you're in prison? Because you're in there to, like, get better. And if you're doing the same shit that you did to get in there, well, then you're really not getting better, right? Just a thought.
For some of the family members, because they needed dental records.
Oh God!
And this is how bad. A lot of people don't know this.
Hey Grizz, look up his brother Cody McFadden. Look him up.
The medical examiner called Jan. Do you know initially
he was going back because the victim that he committed, he had CP, right? He had a phone while he was in prison. He got access to a phone. He had images on that phone of underage, and he got busted with it in prison. He was committing acts against fellow inmates, if you know what I'm saying. So the person or the victim that was in those messages that he got busted with in prison with a phone, that's who was going to testify. Yes, that's who he was going to testify. That's who was going to testify. And she wasn't going to not testify. And Monday was the day that he was supposed to show up to court because she was going to testify. And he already knew that he was going back because his threats weren't working. Why didn't the guards? Well, he was in a prison where that's this is what's crazy is he was in a prison where that's where most of them are housed, Rose. But guess what? They didn't have any rehabilitation programs at that prison for those acts. So he was never had to take a class. They didn't offer classes there. Chalk, baby. There's a lot of whys in this case. There's a lot of them. A lot of them. And that's what I'm saying. After I started getting into this case, I started looking into it, and I'm sitting there. I'd be at work. I'd be laying down to go to bed. I'd be getting up, getting ready for work. I'm sitting there asking myself for the first couple days, like, what the hell makes sense? Why is all of this like this? And I'm an overthinker. So I'm sitting there like exploring all possibilities, like what the hell would make sense? And then a couple days later, I'm doing my prep. I'm going through my subs list, going through my local news and all that stuff. And as I'm going through local news sources, I start to see certain things pop up from the area. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That would make sense why they did this. And then you start thinking, okay, well, if this is what is... Whoa. Now, I thought this is what blew my mind, is I thought that with what I was thinking was outfield, because I kept saying it until I talked to, until we had a conversation about it, that show. But then the stuff that we found out from Beth just went, like there's outfield and then there's the frickin' stands. And we went up into the stands after that because it was just like, hold on a minute. Like it was already outfield. And now this stuff that I didn't even think about or realize because I'm not even from the area. I don't know. Then you're just like, what the hell? That's true too. It's scary, man. And I don't get it. These individuals get out quicker than shit. And I don't understand. It just, I don't know. These are our children, man. And he was even allowed to go around the school with the children. I'm telling you. A lot of people looked the other frickin' way. You know what I mean?
The only smart thing they did, they didn't take no fingerprints or no DNA or nothing. And then they took pictures, but I can tell you why they took pictures. A lot of people were like, why did they needed pictures for some of the family members because they needed dental records.
Oh God.
And this is how bad a lot of people don't know this. The medical examiner called Jan. Do you know initially she was told that Michael James' cause of death was undetermined?
Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We were told his cause of death was undetermined.
Michael James is the son of Holly, by the way. I know somebody had asked that in chat too. Undetermined.
And so when we got the next call, the medical examiner said that medical examiner always does that first.
Why?
I don't know. We don't know. I mean, I don't understand how he would say undetermined, because we all know now it was two gunshot wounds to the head. But initially when he called, the first two we were given were Riley's and Michael's.
Mhm.
And then we were told Tiffany had multiple gunshot wounds, and we were told Holly only had one.
But it was the other way
Which
around.
is exactly wrong.
Yep.
Thank you.
But I am here to tell you, we were
Oh, yeah, and by the way, they even misspelled some of the children's names on the report, and they even had some of the children's parents not be the right parents for the child. They had those swapped around too. I mean, it's ridiculous.
initially told Michael James' cause of death was undetermined.
God, I'm sorry.
That is how messed up this was. Yeah, we were told undetermined. So we were like, well, was he drug overdosed? I mean, thankfully we didn't talk to the media about it, because then but yeah, initially we were, because they only gave us two, and that was Riley's and Michael's, and they told us the next day they were going to do Holly and Tiffany, and that is the day they asked for where the kids went to the dentist. And so, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
How bizarre to tell a family member undetermined. And Jan was like, what do you mean undetermined? And he said, well, the medical examiner told her I did not do his exam, but it is not uncommon for this examiner to put that initially. And that, to my knowledge, it's never been clarified why. But he said, I didn't do it. But then the next couple of days later, we got a phone call where they told us everything. Also that night, that they called and said that they had taken all.
No, he was not the father of the children. He met Holly through the pen pal, and oh man, the sheriff's assistant signed off on the marriage for the marriage to take place. Holly brought her kids there. The sheriff's assistant's the one that sets up the visitation and sets up the pedo stuff at the prison. She signed off on the marriage. Holly had brought the kids to the prison to meet Jesse, and they got married at the prison. It's crazy. And by the way, I'll be doing a sports show starting Sunday. And for game nights, that's why I'm covering a case tonight, because I didn't know if the copyright from the games would actually affect the show at this point with the monetization and everything. So CJ's sports show it's going to be a new channel that I made that I'm going to just be doing sports and game shows on that one. So if you're interested in either one of those, definitely go hit the sub, and we'll be doing game nights, and then I'll be doing my sports shows on Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons, on that channel. And thank you if you do. I appreciate it. It's okay, Casey. We're getting into the last part of this interview with this aunt. We did 2 other episodes, part 1 and part 2. And then I have some other episodes on this case. It's called the Henryetta Horror. We've covered it quite a bit. We're just kind of going through the ending of it. And then I'm going to kind of reintroduce, because I know there's a lot of new people. So I'm going to introduce you to like the Google Maps and the different things. I'm going to be showing some of my highlights too. Just to kind of give you a glimpse of what the case is about. And we're definitely going to be doing some more episodes on it, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me to do new episodes of this case, just because it's been so long. And it's true. I really do. I need to do more on this, and then more on some of these other cases too. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you enjoy game nights, we do like Jackbox, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Family Feud, things like that. But I'll be doing my sports shows. I'll just be doing sports on Sundays. And I love talking sports. So Definitely sub if you enjoy either one of those. If you go back, yeah, I mean there is a lot of a ponytail. I don't think so. CODY. Grizz, if you there's a highlight I have. We'll actually play it here as part of the show tonight. I'll play some of my highlights because it really does cover a lot of the weird things and a lot of the interesting things about this case. In a condensed form. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I wish I could. There's like so much to this. I wish I could take all my shows and just give it to you guys in like a 15 or 30 minute kind of thing. But there's just so much. There's a reason why some of the episodes were so long, because it was just the crazy amounts of information and just what was coming out and just like the searching and the exploring and stuff. Yeah. All right. We'll get back to this here and then we'll get into some of that other stuff too.
Also,
thank you all for hanging out. And I will put the link to this in the chat so you can save it to your playlist. And we're at the 2 hour and 53 mark right now.
that night, that they called and said that they had taken all 4 of them to Tulsa to the medical examiner. And Jan said, "Can you please tell me that he is not in the vehicles with my children, my grandchildren, or my daughter?" And they said, "We will tell you this. He was the last one and he's with nobody." He was the last person to be taken. So that was like, just, it meant something to them, to the family, that he was not in the hearse or whatever. They didn't. And like, there's some big conspiracy. They chose not to bury her under the McFadden name. Her death certificate will say McFadden, but nothing else. It will say Guess.
Did she officially change her name?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why the death certificate will say McFadden, but the family is cremated her, and the memorial stones and all that will say Guess. They do not want the McFadden name, and they legally could do that.
I think that's important to them. I support.
Yeah, and a lot of people think there's a big conspiracy, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they just don't want the McFadden name attached to them. You know, think about Chris Watts' parents, Shannon Watts' family did the same thing.
Yep. Which again, I support. Whatever it takes for the family to feel better, if that helps them, I'm in support. Whatever that is.
So all the big conspiracy theories on social media saying, "Oh, they weren't legal. They were legally married. They just have chosen not to have anything other." They wish the death certificate would say Guess, but it can't. It has to be McFadden. It
has to be her legal name.
Yeah, but everything else, like the obituary and all that, says Guess. Not for any other reason than they just don't want that name McFadden anywhere near them.
I
don't blame them.
So yeah, so if you see that, I'm telling you personally, that is why. There's no conspiracy behind it. There's, other than the fact that they just don't want that name. They don't want to look at it. I don't even know what happened to his body. I don't even know if he was buried, cremated, what.
I don't know.
I don't care. I said they should have left him out in the field for the buzzards.
Yeah, they should have let him.
It was
ride
good enough for his cows. It was good enough for
probably
him.
hurt.
Huh?
You probably should put him next to the cows.
That's what I said. Let him just out there and let the buzzards have him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he's what they did with him, and I really just don't care.
Yeah.
I just
no. He's not. No, he gets. That's why I don't give him too much attention on our channel. We focus on what happened and who it happened to, but not who did it as much, because he doesn't get that.
And you know, it was so morbid to me. You know, not that it was bad enough he contacted his victim, but at that point, we have to believe that everyone's gone. They're out in the yard or whatever. And he just casually starts messaging someone, sends a selfie to prove it's him. What a psychopath.
Yeah, sadistic.
Yeah, she asked him for a selfie. She said, like I need you to like prove it's you, because
good for her.
And then I think she contacted the
and I can tell you the picture he took was right there in the living room. You can see the tiles. Right there. Yeah. You can see Tiffany's little.
And that folder with all the letters that he wrote to her was right on the bed on the floor.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like he probably pulled that out of somewhere and was, you know,
Reminiscing.
Pulled it out and was reading through them and going over them again. So, wow. And that was, he was threatening this victim that was going to testify. He was threatening, you know, this is all your fault. Sent her a picture of him looking all sad. Ridiculous.
Thing and my heart breaks for
Thank you,
her.
Chalk
Like,
Baby and
could
Pam.
you blaming everything on her? Gosh,
Yeah.
no
Oh,
accountability. What a
She was terrified of him. I mean, he would take her location. He had like a secret Facebook page.
yeah.
And he would post on the Facebook page, and he would get her location
I
and
would
like
just
post
her.
it publicly on the page, and then tell her he had people watching her, and if he saw her with a guy, he would have them killed. I mean, it was horrible.
He was obviously very much still infatuated with her. That's very obvious.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oops.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me come up. I really appreciate it. We canceled our live because we were like, holy crap. Kate's got
It was like it was.
Well, and the sad thing is that they invited more of the friends over for the slumber party, and some of them didn't come. Like, there could have been even more. And she just accidentally dropped out. She'll be back up in a second.
It was kind of an impromptu thing. She was like, "Hey, you know, want to go on?" And I like panicked. It was like,
yes is the answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If she's willing to answer questions, it's helped a great deal.
Right. Appreciate her comfort.
I just appreciate you letting me come up. I really do.
You know, anytime.
We were going to do a members live, but we've decided to postpone till tomorrow.
I let the dog back in, and it took all of 2 seconds. I can't help it. I just love animals. But I really do want to thank you girls. Y'all just probably will never know how much you both been so helpful to me. And Kate, thank you for taking my 1 a.m. text and calls. And Tia, thank you for reaching out and just being, I don't know, you've just been so amazing.
Anytime.
And I don't even know how to thank y'all enough. Like, how do you properly thank somebody? And then I was like, I'm dumping on poor Kate. She's going to need therapy too. I told the therapist that today. I'm like, oh, and sometimes I get off the phone with you, Kate, and I think, oh my God, you just told her so much and not even thinking she may not even want to know this. I adore you ladies.
I don't mind. I'm just glad. I mean, it's different for you because you were there and you've seen these things, you know, like even though hearing them is like crazy too, it's not the same for me, you know what I mean, than it was for
Walking
you.
in and
I honestly don't mind at all if you need to vent or
I just don't even think people realize how much I've shared with you and how much you've just been such a great confidant. And I don't even, like, even my therapist was shocked that I don't even doubt for 1 minute that neither one of you ladies would say anything. And you've just been so respectful. And I think I couldn't have got to this point without you two girls.
I like, you know, I would never want to share anything that would get people upset or mad or what, you know, I mean, I don't want
There's a difference between a 1 o'clock in the morning text from a victim's family and working a case. It's enormous. There's not even, they're miles apart. And when you text, it's you talking, it's not you sharing.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
And I didn't even realize that, like, as a trauma response is you're wanting to get it out. You need to find a safe place, you know, and like, just who do you tell in your family? You know, some are angry and others, you know, you don't know. So you don't want to add to their trauma. It's just,
I get it.
So many people have been affected by this, not just the victims and the victims. There's people that are just strangers who've just been so affected. You two ladies, I mean, it's just, you really messed up a bunch of people.
The emails that I get of people saying like how this has like inspired them to like want to talk about their stories and things like that. And
we've gotten several on our side too of people who have been very grateful, just because they found a corner of the world where it's okay to share certain things. You know, we have a little group that we talk to offline, and you know, it helps to know that they're okay because of this. So there are some good things. It's going to take a little time, but there are some good things coming out of this. And you know, I'm a positive person. I'm a believer, and I always believe that through the darkness comes the light.
Absolutely.
It just takes time, and it's not I always forget that I'm not driving the bus, and it's not on my time. It's not my schedule. So I
always say whenever I put things on my time, I always mess it up.
Well, yeah, Callie Glimmer. I'll be real. I felt like Ashley Banfield kind of like railroaded at you a little bit, and I don't like it at all.
And yeah, but that also is her job, you know.
I know, but
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people were bothered by it because it felt like you felt like, from our point of view, it felt like you felt uncomfortable about talking about stuff.
And what a lot of people don't know too is just in the room, in the living room, was a bunch of family members that didn't know some of that.
Yeah, I didn't.
And she like straight put it out there. Like,
yeah, I didn't play that.
Yeah,
it made me very uncomfortable. I did not enjoy that. I did not enjoy watching you. I don't like that.
I didn't even know if you could say things on national. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
well, they could have had somebody walking you guys through this stuff, because you know, if you've never been in this situation before, or if you're not a true crime creator that knows all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't know that you can't say certain things, or, you know, like, you don't know how everything works. And they should have had somebody right from the get-go be like, you know, this is what you can and can't do, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
It's just, and I don't think this is going to die down anytime soon.
Well, I will be honest with you. I think that there's some people who still have some explaining to do. And
absolutely.
Until you tell me to shut up, I'm not going to. And I mean, when you do, I will. Like, we will shut it down quicker than anything.
But to me, it's just,
there's some people that need to answer some questions.
Yeah. Starting with Henryetta police, it just, you know, it just, whew.
Rocks roll downhill.
Yeah.
And it's really like showing like just how like crappy the system is. Like, the fact that they don't have to go, they don't have to go do home checks if they don't want to.
Yeah.
You know,
and you
guys
can,
a level 3 offender, and you only have to go check on him one time.
And what the heck? How long was he out with a pending crime? I mean, what happened to speedy trial? What happened to the victim getting?
What happened to notifying victims?
Yeah, none of the victims were notified he was out of jail.
That would really.
I'm just thinking that day, that Monday. How long? Okay, he committed the solicitation when? What year was it?
2016 into 2017.
Okay, so that poor victim has been waiting almost 5 years for justice. That is insane to me.
By his mother and him.
Yeah,
too.
5 years. You're entitled to a speedy trial, but where's a speedy trial for victims? Where's justice? I get that they can't keep someone in jail. You're innocent until proven guilty. Thank God in this country. But how did he never go to court?
There's a lot of questions I have regarding the initial victim's case that really bother me. With him and going back 20 years and why things were allowed. I mean, this should be a case in point. You should take this entire case and put it down in front of, you know, every kid coming in, any kind of law enforcement, and say, point out all the things wrong here. Before you even want to become a cop, I want you to figure out everything that went wrong here.
Yeah, in time, I hope that statement that I talked, it's only to my friends on Facebook. I know both of you guys have access to it, and there'll be a day that I'll make it public where I talk about how they had such an opportunity. This is before OSBI, to go in there and learn everything they could about how such perverted people like Jesse operate. walking away from all that was a dishonor to the victims and the victims' family. They dishonored them.
Could have used that in like for research in like understanding.
Absolutely. That's an yeah, and like we talked about, in a day and age where sex trafficking is at all-time high, and you just walk away with no concerns or care.
Right.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Where
even in that
the sheriff's department is supporting the landlord to get us out in 3 days.
Oh.
It's crazy. Like, they all wanted this shit cleaned up, gone, done, closed.
Exactly.
Next, move on. Yeah, all of them. Plausible deniability all over the freaking place. I don't know. I didn't notice. I never seen anything. I was never there.
Yeah, you were never there. You were never in the house. You should have been.
Pam, so they came out with, I did see, I got that like 30-second video from you about an update. Well, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Aw. Well, have fun tomorrow. I bet it's going to be fun. Oh, I bet that's going to be awesome. Good night. Have fun. Be safe. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, I'm going to go to, I was trying to find the Banfield episode of this aunt's interview because I really did want to show that one. But I'm having a hard time finding it in my folder. I do have it as a highlight, but I'd rather watch the actual video of it. So if I can't find the actual video, well, thank you. I appreciate you. Good luck tomorrow to your son in the finals. Hopefully they win, because what an experience. Yeah, because she had an interview, and Pam, there was an update from Kate, but it's like 2 hours. So I don't know if there's maybe a timestamp you want me to go to. Just let me know and I can go to that video, whatever timestamp you want me to.
Why is yeah,
Where's the victim?
there's so much I want to say that I can't say yet. But yeah, and the thing too about his mom, let's remember after his first victim, he was found with his wrist slit, so he has a history. So when he told his mother on Saturday or Sunday he was going to kill himself, it's not too far-fetched to believe.
So with the wrist slit, she's talking about, and we'll go into it. There's a few minute video. There's a lot of interviews with Crystal Strong with a K, and she was one of the previous victims to the one that he was in trouble with now. She was the victim of why he served all that time. And so she's kind of explaining her story. And after he committed the crime against Crystal, he left the house and then he went down to a bridge, and then that's where they found him, where his wrists were cut a certain way. But they were able to save him. It's all crazy. It just makes you wonder. When you look at the background of the brother and the stuff that he got into and that he's in trouble for and that he's serving time for right now as we speak, caging up a victim, shocking her with electric wire in a cage, locked in a cage, acts committed on. Like, it makes you wonder what the hell happened at home when they were kids. I mean, it's some sick, twisted crap.
He would do it because he tried it the last time, and she just walked away. It's just, I don't know. I know some people are mixed. Like, I would have liked to seen it go to trial, but some people are like, "Oh, your family should be blessed that you don't have to go through that." Maybe we would have got answers sooner. You know, maybe all the computers would have been seized.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, they may have treated it different if they had
What's up,
somebody to
ATS?
arrest and go to trial.
Yeah.
But still, it shouldn't make a difference. I mean, when there's a school shooting and the shooter unalives themselves, they still go and check their house and, you know, check it, like look into everything. So
I do want to clarify about Holly's Facebook page. The family did not go in. That was all done by Facebook. The family did not go in and shut her Facebook page down. That was all done by Facebook. They wouldn't. They wouldn't even let it be a memorial page. That was.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone's speculating that we went in and knew the password and we're trying to cover up evidence, and no, it had nothing to do with us. Facebook made the decision and was notified that it would never be a memorial page.
Yeah.
So no, there's no conspiracy behind it. Why did they take 2 towers on the first warrant but leave all others behind? They didn't take nothing, did they? The first warrant, nothing.
Yeah, they did. They took 2 computer towers on the first warrant.
So they took the 2 towers from
2 flash drives, 2 towers,
and the State Farm and pictures.
Yeah.
I thought they didn't take the towers until the second search warrant.
This is on May 1st.
Oh, well, good. But why did they leave them? Did they take them from the living room, the office?
It doesn't say. It couldn't have been because the ones in the living room were there. Like, which ones did they take?
Yeah.
The ones in the living room were there.
And the ones in Jesse's office was there. Did they
Yep.
take Michael James's? Because I can't remember. We'd have to go through the video and look.
Oh, for corn's sake.
Of all the ones you're going to take, because there was no computers in the girls' rooms. There was a tablet. Like, I called it an iPad, but to be honest with you, I don't think it was an iPad. It was just a tablet. But there was no laptops or any kind of electronics in the girls' room. Michael James had a computer. We should go through there and see, because can we pull that video up?
Yeah, I can.
Because we'll know which one's missing. And if they took the towers out of Jesse's office and they saw all those things, and handcuffs and drugs, they just walked off and left that, which makes it even worse.
What was the one with the most detailed video?
Exactly. All that stuff that was left behind. I don't know. Maybe they're the ones that took that one because it had the most information on it. What's up, Astro from space?
I know there was like
the one where they walk through with the news station walks through with them, because the news station did
was that News Nation or was that
I don't think, no, it wasn't New Nation, it was the local news. And the landlord allowing Jesse, the landlord allowing the Websters and the news station in before they weren't even on the lease, or that wasn't their home. That is a horrible thing to do to Holly's family. Think about it. That's video they found out. They had not even been allowed into the house yet, and a news crew was allowed to go in before they were. And I'm not upset with the Webster family, but the landlord allowing a news crew to go in when none of them lived there, it just blows my mind.
Oh, the landlord allowed it?
Yeah, the landlord. That's what the news crews allege, and they had permission from the landlord.
But then why did he get so mad? And
how did they get in? Yeah, but I'm sure there was no. Well, the door was locked. I think
that's your answer to why the doors were open too.
Yeah, exactly. And anyone could crawl the window. Like I said, no windows had locks or the ability to lock. There was just no locks on them, except Riley and Tiffany's room was nailed shut.
Huh.
That's so. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Are you able, and I don't know if you're able to do this, but are you able to clear up, and maybe you already have because I came in late, about Riley's schooling?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Where did she attend school? How long was she in school before she was pulled out?
Okay, they were at Westville, and from my understanding, they left Westville. They were still on remote learning right before the summer, and then started Henryetta.
Okay.
Riley was pulled out right before her birthday because they not only did they pull her out for homeschooling, they canceled her birthday party. She wasn't allowed to have a birthday party. So she wasn't pulled out very long before the murder happened.
Okay.
So she was pulled out of school after they moved.
Yeah, she attended Westville, and
But then when they moved, she went to a different school.
she went to Henryetta. Okay,
And she got pulled out of Henryetta.
she got pulled out of Henryetta for I don't know if I should share it.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
That's what I wanted. I just wanted to get.
Yeah,
the
it wasn't
timeframe of the
her
schooling.
birthday's in February, so it wasn't very long because, I don't know the exact date, but I know her birthday was like party was that weekend, and that was canceled too.
Okay.
So she was having a big birthday party,
And
and
they canceled it 'cause they were-
yeah, and then they pulled her out of school to homeschool her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was 16, and then she turned 17 in February. So it was right, like she got pulled out a matter of days before her birthday party. So I don't know if the birthday party was going to be like,
Wow.
honor, like it was probably the weekend before her actual birthday. But yeah, she was pulled out by Jesse and Holly.
I appreciate you clearing that up. The time frame. I really that helps me.
They had only been going to school there for like 2 years. This was like their second year. You know what I'm saying? They went one full year of 2021, the 2021-22 school year, and then now they were going into their 22-23.
Okay.
And then prior to that, they were in Westville.
Okay.
But I do know that they were still on remote learning because Michael had not turned in some paper, lessons, and Holly was upset because he said he turned them in, and I was like, girl, my daughter did that. She took summer school so that she could go into a program, and she was telling me, oh yeah, Mom, I'm doing it. It was Spanish too. And then her Spanish 2 instructor was like, do you know Lil, she's 12 assignments behind? And I'm like, ooh, girl,
wow.
did you not think they were going to come tell me? And I was like,
I know that
Did they all
did
get pulled out
remote
of school?
learning on the Friday before. They had remote learning from the school.
no, they were still doing.
So this is one of the first videos there. I think this is the same one that we showed in a little bit ago when I was kind of showing like the walkthrough, the property and stuff and what was there. And so this is the aunt. She was one of the family members that did show up, noticed things, tried to get Ellie to take the evidence. She was actually trying to get them to even take the restraints. And at one point, he was basically telling her to leave. And he was threatening that he was going to arrest her based off the fact that he was asking her to leave and she wasn't leaving. When all she was doing was just trying to ask him why he wouldn't take certain things that were left at the property. Just none of it makes sense. So she's going to point out, and I think she's going to tell you which computer was taken.
And even though they lived in Henryetta, they were still doing Westville school. They finished out that school year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. I was confused. I thought
a lot of people are confused.
Wow. Yeah. So it was. Thank you for the information. Is that the thing on Facebook that you were talking about? Oh, no worries, RB. Is that the thing on Facebook you were talking about, Pam?
Yeah.
I thought they moved and she went to the new high school and then they
That's
pulled
what I
her out
thought
of
too.
there.
Yeah,
But
so
now I understand what you're
saying. At the end of they went right before school was going to let out, so there was no reason to just switch them. So they finished out remote because in Westville, I think they could be remote or go back to school because it was like the 21, 22, you know what I'm saying? Right at the end of the COVID, you could go back or not. And she was just keeping them on remote. Because they were really doing well with that remote.
Yeah.
And so it was just why end it and then just for a few months put them in Henryetta. And so they had gone one full year in Henryetta and they were going through their second full year, which this end of May would have been 2 complete years.
Okay.
So that's, yeah. And like, I think to the best of my knowledge, Tiffany has only been to 2 school districts. She started kindergarten, I believe, at Westville. I may be wrong by a year, but to the best of my knowledge, I think she only went to Westville and then Henryetta.
Yeah.
Well,
because there was a memorial at Westville.
Yeah, that's right. That's
that Friday night, because we literally left the house and we didn't even get an opportunity to go shower, and we had to go to the memorial. We wouldn't have had time. But look through there. I want to see what 2 towers they took, because could it have been towers used? Because it couldn't have been in the living room, because those were there. So did they take Michael James's? That is okay. That's Michael's room. Okay, look, there's a living room. Okay.
What is that? It looks
What?
like a chisel. Is that a brush?
Where?
That would be a brush with the green handle.
I think that was a toothbrush. Not like it looked like a pet brush thingy.
Oh, like a dog brush.
But that wasn't there. That wasn't there. Then the next day when we went, that was not there. I'm telling y'all, they looked everywhere for a toothbrush and hairbrush. We found one in the bottom of one of Michael James's track bags. But Michael's computer is, if you can round, I can look too.
I don't think they show it. Like, I think they only showed that part of the room.
That room is really, really tiny. But I'm going to tell y'all something that's so funny. I got to share with everybody. I do want the world to know this. We were in Michael James's room, and we wanted to lift up the mattress, because by this point we had found other things in mattresses. And I looked at one of the family members. I'm like, are we going to find condoms and stolen Playboys? And when we lifted it up, we both fell to the ground laughing. I have a picture of it. It was full of all his sister's candy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
She got booted again. StreamYard's buggy. I don't understand. It's like $25 a month for what I pay.
We're in
crazy.
The ones in Jesse's office.
And there's higher plans than that.
I would think. Did you check if you can? Fox 23 is the one video that for some reason that I don't know.
This one I think is Fox
in bad here.
I got it from Kaylee Living.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay.
Oh.
That's in the laundry room.
Okay, that's his office. I want to see if the towers were from there, because
I would think they're in here.
They took the towers there, why did they leave? And look, all that stuff is not new. That's been used for a while.
I'm telling you, there's another video.
Check.
Of the house
Yeah, that's why I said check
show,
Fox 23.
This is Fox. Or no, this is.
No, that's not. That's 4.
Yeah, you're right. Hold on. I swear Kaylee was Fox 23. That's why I thought it was Fox 23.
And that thing was in there. I'm talking in there. That's Holly's bedroom right there. That's the dresser I found the things taped to.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Well, there was one computer right there.
What is that round thing?
Go back. Oh.
Right
there.
That's in the
living room.
Yeah.
Okay, when I got there, see that? Stop it right there. That little nightstand is where I found the boxes of new chains that they had just bought.
This, the one in their bedroom.
There was a box. I'll send you the pictures that matched the Walmart receipt. Okay, that's the living room.
Okay,
that's the bedroom.
Was there was a webcam in here? You said, like, connected to this.
I don't know. I heard there was, but we didn't see it when we got there. That's the living room right there. Like right when you come in, that's to the right. So they didn't take that tower because that's in the living room where there's 2 screens. So they didn't take the one in the living room unless there was more in there and they just picked 1 or 2 they wanted to take.
So they could say they took a computer?
I'm looking at my iPad, Kate, to see if it's here.
Well, we took one.
Because I'm the one in the, oh my gosh. And they might have taken it out of Holly's office, which would have made sense because it looked the most like an office, but.
I don't know if they would take webcams because
there's nothing going to be on it.
Yeah, there's nothing going to be on it. It just plugs in.
Yeah,
they would take the computer and the flash drives and things because that's where you would.
Yeah, but the webcam, I mean, it's not going to withhold information. And like the screen divider, the dividers, none of that was taken, but it don't hold any information either. Those pictures make the house look so much bigger. Like, I was shocked when I went in there because the videos make it seem so much bigger than it is.
That living room looks small as hell.
Her office. Go to, hold on, Kate.
So it doesn't say what room they got the towers from.
Got it.
Yeah, there's one that they show the other side of Jess's office.
Go to the Fox 23 one, and I'll tell you go in about. It's just when they start to go past. After
and also, like, pull up the gate real quick. This is something I found so crazy. You know how they said there was no game cams and all that? That was a lie. There was one right there, and there was also a
like a trail cam.
Yeah, a trail cam. You know how they said there was none? Yeah, there was.
There was.
Yeah.
Did they take the trail?
OSBI, I'm sure did.
Wow.
And also right there, I was talking to OSB. I was like, what is that? And we started looking at it. He's like, oh, I got a picture of it. I'll send it to y'all. Hold on. It's a sensor.
Hold on a second.
Let's see.
Is it Fox 23? Oh, here.
Hold up here. Hold on 1 second. Well, it's a video. I'm going to send it to you.
Copy. Here, I'm sending it to you, Kate. Check Messenger.
I just sent it to you, Kate. It's a video of a sensor that lets you know someone is at your property.
Oh, like a.
So, well, that's interesting. I wonder who actually owned those cameras.
I'm just gonna leave the sound off though, so that way I don't less of a chance of getting a copyright strike. Thank you, Pointer. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
She's right. You are.
Thank you. So are you guys? We've been like back and forth between Decipher and here doing this. We've been doing Zoom calls like.
I know.
I don't believe. Oh, here we go. Why are they showing it through like a little monitor though?
I don't know. I didn't understand that, but I.
What's that? Like Gorilla Glue? Maybe fabric glue or something?
Kate, did you get the video I sent you?
Yeah.
Did LaDonna only have 2 children?
She has a daughter too, I think.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Or maybe even 2 daughters, but I know definitely one. Let me send it to myself.
What a crazy family.
I know there's another one that, oh, it might be this one. They go in Jesse's office and they show his whole computer setup.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they could not have taken it if we see it there. So it's like, where did they get 2 towers from?
I don't know if the towers were there, but I remember the monitor.
Yeah. The only rooms that I witnessed any electronic device computers were the ones in the living room, the ones in Jesse's office, laundry room, and the ones in Holly's office. And then James had computer in his room.
Sorry.
And lots of video games. Lots. Oh my gosh, that boy had a ton of video games.
Is that the one right here?
See, there's no tower right here.
Yeah.
1 minute 48.
It's this one, right? This was in the laundry room or no?
Yep.
Or was that Michael's room?
No, this is the laundry room. Oh no, I'm lying. This is Michael's room.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I can't
look
see it
Michael's
for some
room.
reason. Not showing on mine.
Oh, sorry. I have it on my screen, but I had it. They changed the screen sharing thing, and it drives me crazy. I apologize. Right.
You know what? I think that you might be right. I think they might have taken Michael's.
Yeah, I think that's Michael's room.
How crazy is that? Of all the computers, you're going to take the young kids?
Is that
That's Michael's room, right?
Or is that no?
No, that's the living room. Nope, that's Michael's room right there.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, because the office, it looks different.
That's not the
there's,
office.
Like cabinets or something.
Yeah.
Wait, is that you're sure that's not the?
That looks like the living room, like right when you came in the living room.
That's what I was going to say. Is that what that is? The living
Yeah,
room?
that's the living room. So they must have taken them out of the living room.
Oh, maybe the big tower connects to this that we seen in the living room.
I'm looking
But
for Jesse's.
all of them had 2 screens. Like there was 2, 4, 6 screens between the living room and the 2 offices.
So my hubby is into gaming, and he had 3 screens at one point, and I have 2 screens. One, I have like my live stuff, and then my second screen is what I share.
But the girls had no access to
I don't see
electronics.
Holly's computer.
Just like, gotcha. But it's common for people who game to have 2 screens, and I think
Michael,
Jesse was into that because he followed on Twitter like Tim the Tap Man, who's like a big gaming streamer. I think he had a Twitch channel that he streamed on, but Twitch deletes your videos. Oh my gosh, I just thought of something I can do. All right, so Twitch deletes your videos after so many days, but I might be able to way back his Twitch and see if I can see any of the videos. I don't know if I'll be able to watch them.
I don't see Holly's. I mean, her desk is kind of messy, so it's really tough to.
Her desk is the one with all the stickers on it.
So I can't tell if that's a printer.
That's their room? That is so small. That's Holly's bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is Holly's bedroom, right? When you see the Route 66, okay.
It's like a box. It's small.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. And that's the dresser I found the Velcro restraints to. On top of that seat, that we found the box of chains.
Why was the vent off? Like the vent lid?
I don't know.
I don't know if like the police opened it or.
No, that's Jesse's office.
Yeah, they show the other side.
It was such a mess. Gosh, it was messy.
CJ?
Yeah, I just did. I was like, I can't.
It's tiny too. Very, very tiny.
Yeah, what's up?
What is that, a bong? What is that?
They're asking if you take calls.
What, a call right now?
Astro from space, I think, wants to call.
1 second here. Yeah, you can call if you want to. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure it's. Yeah, I just tested it. It's ringing. If you want to call, you're more than welcome. Sorry, I'm still kind of like feeling better in the stomach, but under the weather a little bit. So I was just zoning into that call too that they were doing.
Yeah.
Or going
Well,
through all the evidence.
If you need to take it easy the rest of the night,
No, I got a little bit more. There's another interview. But I thought it'd be really interesting to watch the press conference again too from the sheriff in the beginning. But yeah, go ahead and give me a call if you want. And there is a new video. I'm trying to see. It's a Law and Crime Network video, and I'm trying to not play those. And I was also trying to see if I could find another, because of the new autopsy results. I was trying to see if I could find something else, and I haven't been able to find one yet besides Law and Crime. So. 812-250-8484.
I don't know how much longer I can stay awake. It's been some late nights.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I hear you.
Well, maybe Astro's not going to call. They just said they had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, if you're going to call, go ahead. Just let me... I'm going to switch back to the video. Let me know if you would like to call, and then I'll go ahead and get the screen back for that. And definitely go sub over there if you enjoy sports. And then that's where I'm going to be doing the game shows for the... You know how we used to have the game nights on Friday nights all the time before? So I'll be doing those game nights, but it'll be on the CJ Sports Show. So it'll be more like a sports and game show channel.
Okay. Yeah,
So
Astro
go
says
that.
they're so scared to call. Maybe Astro could get a hold of you privately.
Okay. Yeah, no, I totally understand. Yeah, let me 1 second. No, I just got to get the voice changer, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to this video.
Yes, it's a bong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Stop right there. Can you see? Is that a printer or
a printer right there? It looks like...
That's Holly's office.
Is that a tower or a printer?
What's that white thing on the
That's
desk?
Holly's office. What white thing?
Is that a keyboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of keyboards, but that's Holly's office, and it is tiny, tiny, tiny.
What did she have on the shelves? It's just like bags. This was like her work stuff, like the witchy
On
way
that
or
side
whatever.
right there, on that white bookshelf and the black bookshelf, it was full of stuff for the witchy way stuff. It had like books of recipes for their stuff. And just a lot of handwritten stuff.
Headset. I guess it's for work. The heater. Vaseline.
That drawer with all the pills in that was the top drawer there. I just pulled it out and set it in the living room.
Oh.
Now this is his office, where all the cell phones were found.
Is that like tick stuff? Like what is that? It looks like
A lot of hunting, like bow hunting stuff. There was a bunch of bows and arrows.
Oh, there's
in
my
there.
friend.
Was there anything nefarious, for lack of better word, in Holly's desk/office? Somebody asked.
I'm just
If you
not
don't
comfortable.
feel-
Yeah,
yeah,
I
if you
can't
don't
share
feel
that yet.
And feel free if anyone asks you.
Yeah,
anything that you
and
feel
I'm
comfortable,
sorry.
just
There's
say
just because it's still ongoing. There's just some things I can't answer.
it. We completely understand. We know.
And there was some things, like I said, that we may have thought were important, and that OSBI is not going to think it was of importance. But we're doing the best we could.
And,
And we were collecting saying, oh, a lawyer would like this. Most of the things was in their bedroom closet. And
Her office had a like a deadbolt on the inside, I think.
Yep. And then the door, like if you there's that other door just leads outside.
I don't really understand why
okay.
the deadbolt is on the
Yeah.
inside.
Kate, I'm gonna hop down and thank you both very, very much.
Yes, lady.
for
I'm
letting
gonna have to
me-
get off here too. I'm gonna get the dogs out.
Well, I just want to thank you for letting me interrupt your
No,
conversation.
thank you for being there. Just thank you both so much. I'm so thankful for both of you.
We're
Well,
thankful for
anytime.
you, and I'm just glad that I know it's under terrible circumstances, but I feel
I
lucky
just
that-
am a firm believer God puts the right people in your path in life, and it's not by circumstance. Oh, and the day will come where I can share so much, and I've shared some with y'all, but you just got to respect that they're still doing an investigation. So,
Oh yeah, I would never want the investigation
said, you
to
get
be compromised in any way.
You get and if there comes a time where you have to say no more, then we like I said, we
We
shut it
understand.
down.
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you, ladies, and everyone in the chat. We will talk again soon, I'm sure.
All right.
Y'all have a great weekend. Okay.
You
too.
too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, again, here's that. And then when I'm done with the episode tonight, in this episode, in the description, I'll also put the link to episode 1 and 2. So if you'd like to check those out, you can too. Was he the father? No, he was not the father of any of the children. 2 of the children were friends of the young victim. And then the 3 children lived at home with Holly and Jesse. Those were Holly's children. Thanks, Chalk Baby. Thank you. Appreciate it. I can't wait to talk some football coming up this football season. Football, basketball. It'll just be on Sundays, though. It'll just be the Sunday sports. And then we'll be using that channel to do the game shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Family Feud. That's a lot of fun, too. I just didn't want to, with all the copyrighted music and stuff that comes with those games, I was just afraid that it was going to affect the true crime stuff. So I didn't want that to have any effect on it. And I'm going to be doing sports, and I didn't want to have that connected to the true crime stuff. So true crime world events, even the topics of like mental health, things like that, conversations, interviews, all of those things that the Evil CJ show does. And then like the sports and the games and all that, I just kind of wanted that to be something separate, so it's kind of their own kind of things. So I needed to make it anyway. The game night stuff just gave me extra motivation to hurry up and at least get it made and set up. And then, I got some cheesy, I'll show you guys. I got some like cheesy picture icon up there. It's like, it's so bare and simple, but I had to put something together. So I just went ahead and did that. But yeah, I'm excited to do the sports. I've loved sports for a long time, always have, and it's gonna be cool to be able to chill back, use the live call-in feature to hear people talk about their sports and stuff. And there's even some cool stuff where it's not real gambling, but it's like a casino game where they have real actual game. It's all like live stuff. It's just it's not real, so it's fun to play because I don't gamble. If I do, I just bring like a 20 or or a 50 or something, and $50 or something, and just go to the slots for a minute. And if I hit, I hit. If I don't, I'm not.
Right.
I don't know. I always lose when I go gambling. So, like, even if it's slots, I just, you know what? I just keep my money. No countdown. Grizz. Uh-oh. Well, it'll be just a plain screen with some music. So, we're good. I got the plain screen. I got the music. We're good to go. But I can't wait. Grizz is going to be, he's going to be cooking something, putting something together for the sports show. So it's going to have its own intro for the CJ Sports Show. So I'm excited for that too. But I'm really excited just to talk to everybody about, their teams and sports and all that. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
You do so much.
Even the game show, like the game show stuff. Family Feud's a hit, open panel Family Feud. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I think with this live call-in, we can use that on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so you can call in and be a contestant on the show. You don't have to download an app. You don't have to use your web browser. You can just simply call the phone number and then be a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That'd be really cool.
Well, I hate to hop off, but I am tired.
I bet. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for all the hard work that you do. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Wish I could stay on longer. I'm pooped.
Oh, you're good.
All right. So good night. Good night, chat.
Thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. It was fun. Well, not the case, but
yeah,
hanging out with you and chat.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate all your work as a mod too.
You're welcome.
Always being on top of things. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night. Foreign college, true crime is a must now. Yeah, that's true, Astro. Yeah, this weekend I'll do some research and see if I can find something on this voice changer stuff. Because I definitely need to get it. You know what I'm like? I have to. I got to get this Henryetta Beth call, interview out there. It's been like a month and a half now. So it definitely needs to be out there. Yeah, nobody checked it. It was nuts. Yeah, good night, Kip Kitty. So this is on my video tab section. And so I'm not going to go into this full press conference for, well, maybe, because it is interesting. I kind of, yeah. Yeah, I do. I think it needs played because I think you guys need to watch this crap. I think you need to watch this crap. But I'm going to link in episode 1 and 2 of what we covered on this. It'll be in the description after the show's over. Man, it's 35 minutes. We'll just go to this heartbreaking interview with the victim's aunt. That's 20. I think this is the aunt that was on the Kate Does Crime episode that we just watched. So some of the stuff that she was talking about earlier, some people, I don't know. You got to really watch her reaction, okay? When it comes to, Banfield was trying to get the questions. She was trying to get the questions. Sometimes they were just like, yikes. That's asking a lot. but it's very interesting what she says. Somebody also reached out and said they'd like to hear more about the Vallow case. So one of these, we do combo shows, and so I will. There is some Vallow stuff that we can discuss for about 45 minutes on a show. So I'll include that in a combo show coming up, and we'll probably do a combo show with this case and the Lori Vallow case. We'll do a combo on that and just kind of cover both cases in one show. Definitely gonna check out this Ant interview. Now this is the evening. What's up, SRB? Speaking of, this is a episode that SRB had joined me on panel when we were watching this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull it up and just kind of blow it up, so then it actually looks like you're watching the episode, even though it's an episode that me and SRB did. Is this he said on that press conference Jesse wasn't on the radar. Yeah, it's like they didn't want him to be, you know. Yeah, we're gonna watch ourselves, SRB. What's up, Tech Death Hippie? Yeah, definitely go sub to the new channel. We're going to be doing game shows on that and talking sports. And so here's the link for that. So we'll get into this interview that Banfield did with the Ant. This is the Ant that was on Kate Does Crime. And I'll put the link to this in the episode too.
This is, and we found 5.
Here we go.
Believe that there was anything more that could be found. But how is it that you and your family were able to get back into that home and discover yet even more evidence?
On Friday, the landlord, after planning the funeral, notified us that we had 3 days to get on the property, or everything was going to go in a dumpster this Monday.
Oh,
we stopped the funeral, and myself, Holly's godmother, and her godmother's daughter, just the 3 of us, went to the house. This is, and we found 5 phones. We found a notebook ledger with the names. We just found other things, and that's the other family members come. The police came.
They found bones.
Yeah, we found a lot of horrifying things.
They found bones.
I thought she said phones.
Phones. Okay.
And
I was like,
CJ,
shit.
can you turn your music down just a little?
Yeah. Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Yeah. 1 second.
My ears are like, they're so funky.
How's that?
Thanks. Yeah,
no
that's
problem.
fine.
As we were planning the funeral, I asked that we had 3 days to get on the property, or everything was going to go in a dumpster this Monday. We stopped the funeral, and myself, Holly's godmother, and her godmother's daughter, just the 3 of us, went to the house. This is, and we found 5 phones.
Are
We
you
found a
serious,
notebook
Astro?
ledger with the names. We just found other things, and that's the other family members come. The police came. Yeah, we found a lot of horrifying things. But
can you explain, Lynn, a little bit more about the ledger? Whose handwriting was it, and what was in the ledger?
Just names and ages, like numbers. I didn't recognize, but I knew it was something important. We did turn over the police. The most probably disturbing evidence I found that day is I pulled the dresser out, and behind it was a towel with duct tape all around it, and I pulled it, and it was restraints, Velcro restraints, unlike the other restraints which was laying all through the house. This one was taped to the back of the dresser. I asked the deputy that was on the scene if he wanted it. He said, "This is not an active crime scene. It's solved. If you don't want it, put it in the dumpster."
It's not an active crime scene. It's solved. Who said that?
The local cops, I guess, but she said that was Friday, right?
Live reaction.
I don't think, is it OSBI or just OSB?
This is a live reaction.
OSBI.
I don't think they had taken over yet as of Friday. Okay.
No, that's when they
So
were
it would have
still assisting.
okay, so it would have probably just been local LE at that point that told her, well, we don't need it, it's solved.
Yeah, the sheriff and the task force.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's my take on it anyway. They did take lots of pictures, Kelt.
Wow.
Taped to the back of the dresser. I asked the deputy that was on the scene if he wanted it. He said, this is not an active crime scene. It's solved. If you don't want it, put it in the dumpster.
Put it in the dumpster. Dude, that could have somebody else's fucking DNA on it.
They don't want it found.
And I begged.
This is what
begged him to-
this is what the deputy told to you over the weekend. You found additional restraints that very well could have had DNA of potentially other victims on it.
I begged him, please take this. I said, please
She
take this.
begged
It's
him.
not like the chains. They weren't laid out. They were taped behind a dresser. He said, the victims are dead. The perpetrator's dead. If you don't want them, ma'am, put them in the dumpster. I said, why would
What
I
did you end
want
up
them?
doing with them?
I put them in a garbage bag. On that day, we thought what we would do is hire a private investigator. I hid him in the house and we left. In fact, I had told by the police I had to leave or he was going to arrest me. When I asked for what, he said, we're not leaving. I was like, I have permission to be here, but we left and we returned the next day and nothing.
So he was basically going to arrest her for getting upset because they didn't want the freaking straps.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting
Ma'am,
in their
you're going to have
way.
to leave.
I mean, I guess she was in the way of an inactive, already solved.
Yeah, it's
crime
solved.
Scene.
It's solved.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Nothing could prepare anyone for what we had to find.
Can you tell me a little bit more, Lynn, about what you found?
Well, what's crazy is, and I'm just pausing my own video here, crazy live reaction. But what's crazy is that, yeah, since they were homeschooled, trapped. And what's crazy is that the fact that all of this stuff was able to take place. You know, another thing that's came out recently, speaking of your comment here, Astro, is that property, and I'll show you here real quick. That property had several different addresses on that property. This is the property right here. There's the house. I mean, you got little ponds. You got all sorts of property. I mean, look at this. All sorts of property. Who in the hell is going to hear anything out here? Who in the hell? All right, let me get back to this video. It's just crazy. And this poor aunt. This poor aunt.
Prepare anyone for what we had to find.
Can you tell me a little bit more, Lynn, about what you found under the floorboards?
Yeah, we're talking about this Oklahoma stuff tonight.
The first set of clothes wasn't in the floorboards. wadded up kid
Okay,
in the
see.
closet.
So the first set wasn't in the floorboards. So this is something that they found, she found. So yeah,
Right.
they're both true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right,
Yeah,
the
Astro.
panel's open. If you have something you want to say regarding this case that we're talking about, you're more than welcome. Other than that, well, we have open topic nights where we kind of talk about whatever, or even the hangouts.
First set of clothes wasn't in the floorboards. Wadded up kid
Oh my gosh.
in the closet. The first pair I pulled out was.
I hope this lady is talking to somebody.
I know. Can you imagine how she must feel?
And live update, she has been talking to somebody since after this interview took place. This was a highlight that I made from 4 weeks ago, specifically May 10th, 2023. So there has been other interviews since, and she does indicate that she has been talking to somebody. Oh my gosh, just watching her try and talk about this, these images that she has in her head are taking her back. And you're right, Astro. When we were covering this case in the other shows, that's exactly the stuff we were talking about. Seriously, if you're able to, please reach out to me by email, or you can even send a text message to the show, 812-250-8484. And we can always, if you're interested, we can schedule a call where I'm not live doing a show if you'd like to sit back and talk, and I can just take some notes and stuff too if you'd like me to. Whatever you're comfortable with, let me know, and I will definitely update the show when I do figure out some sort of voice changer thing. That way, you guys are always able to call and know that your privacy is protected. I appreciate you guys hanging out and sharing what you can share in chat. I do appreciate your what your mental is. Thank you for hanging out and sharing what you can share. Oh my gosh. I hope she's talking to somebody. I really do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is
The first set
heartbreaking.
of clothes wasn't in the floorboards. Wadded up kid in the closet. The
This
first
is
pair I pulled out
heartbreaking.
was just some bloody shorts. But the second, and to me, the dry blood was obvious, but it was the second pair of little underwear. The fluid was.
Oh.
Yeah, we put those in garbage bags. We went
See,
back
they
to
did
get as
it.
much evidence out before my brother. And
Wow.
See, they bagged that stuff up. Did you hear her? Didn't she say she hid that other pair of restraints that the cops said to just throw in the trash so that she could give them to OSBI?
Yeah, she put those in a bag too.
Uh-huh. And kind of like put them to the side so that she could give them to OSBI.
I mean, it sucks because they're contaminated now with
Good
her
night, Chuck,
DNA.
baby. I'll be ending
Right.
the show here soon myself.
But it still offers an answer.
Right.
Even if, because if he's the one that was involved with that particular crime, which I'm sure he was, he's already gone. And maybe, yeah, the evidence might be contaminated, but at the same time, at least you have DNA that you can separate hers from whoever else it is and find out who else
Exactly.
it was,
Right.
There's a positive to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he was still alive, then that'd be a horrible situation. But hopefully it does bring some answers. Like, man, yeah, so it sounds like the family was finding stuff, bagging it, and collecting it, because I'm glad they did it, you know, because who says that, you know, the dumpster wasn't gonna be its new home in
Right.
the near future if she wouldn't have done these things, or the family members that did collect these items.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened to them?
I mean, they could have moved a dumpster out before OSBI ever got in there.
Right.
And then yeah, it all would have been gone.
Like the landlord said, Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday. Well, he was going to start pitching stuff on Monday, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's all
In the
right.
dumpster.
I'm not too sure about him either, but go ahead.
I know. I wanna. Yeah. There's. I don't think, you know, when it comes to the pond and the work that was done and who paid for it. I don't know if that dude's necessarily not involved as well. But
Right. I did see where they did say Kate does crime. She did say she had found out that they had wanted to pull rocks up out of there. That's what was going on. So
rocks in the
yeah,
pond.
up out of the pond, yes. So did that make it
Well,
any better? I don't know. Does that make it innocent? Maybe it wasn't anything. I got to mute for just a minute. Go ahead.
yeah. You know, I don't. When it comes to the pond, they did sonar in the pond. That was the first day that they showed up with the dig team and everything. They did sonar and they found that one part of the pond that they are searching in, that one part of it had a disturbance to it. So that's what they were investigating. Haven't heard anything about the results from it. Doesn't mean I'm telling you, there's like a lot of breaking news that comes out at the end of the show, and it's like, damn, if I just would have went another half an hour, but I already, you know, they're already as long as they are already. So, but who knows? I mean, it's Tuesday. I think we would know something, or they would have, you know, but I don't know. It makes you wonder. Like I don't know. That property is so huge. It's going to take, you know, it couldn't have been something that was a long time that things been happening, because he's only been out for around 2 years, so it ain't that long. So hopefully, you know, the search in the property wouldn't have to be that extensive to see if there is disturbances somewhere, or this or that. But I don't know. It's hard telling, you know, especially with the stuff about the wife now. Who
Right.
knows?
And it does seem like everything got real quiet kind of today. Like there's not as much.
Yeah.
But again, maybe that's because OSBI has taken over and probably not going to get near the updates or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. The details, but they'll
Mhm.
come out.
Oh, definitely.
They'll come out. And with him already gone, you know, there's no reason to be on the hush hush for anything, unless there's other individuals that are connected that they have found connections to. Then I
Right.
can see everything being hush hush. But yeah, this is so heartbreaking for this lady here. And I can't believe it. So they collected evidence, bagged it, then OSB came in, probably because of all the stuff that the family did right here. And they said, okay, we're taking this over. Like, this is ridiculous. And then now they're starting to collect stuff.
I
Oh, go ahead.
actually, yeah, I have a question.
So,
So when they came in, when OSBI comes in, can they basically look at the local cops and say, "Get out, you're
No.
done"? They cannot do that.
Oh, now?
Or they? I'm.
Now,
That's what I'm saying.
okay, so initially the sheriffs and the task force are in charge. So
Okay.
when we're watching that press conference, and they
Mhm.
were saying, how come the local law enforcement, this and that, and how come you're, you know, he's like, we're the ones in charge. the sheriffs and the task force. He also let us know what else he's in charge of. Wow, bravo,
Right.
dude. You can't even collect normal fucking evidence, you know? So so what it is so then they have the ability to request assistance. So it was it was a strategic move by them. So by basically inviting them to come and assist them in only certain parts of the investigation, only certain parts, not everything, that
Oh,
basically put one hand of theirs behind their back.
okay.
Okay, because they were in charge. OSBI could come in and assist with anything that they were being asked of to assist with, but nothing they weren't being asked of to assist with. So they could basically say, you know, hey, we should probably take this tower. And the task force or the sheriff could be like, no, we're good. We're just going to leave it. And then said tower gets left because they have to default to the lead investigators.
Oh, well,
So
that.
once they cleared the crime scene, the family went in, found more evidence that like they're done. Like now OSB's coming in. Now they brought in all the trucks, the diggers, the mobile units, you know, all of this stuff.
Okay.
Because they're like, no, something, and hopefully they kind of figure out what the hell's going on with the local shit, man.
Okay.
I've never even heard of any LE department doing any kind of evidence collection like this ever in my
No.
life. Ever in my
No.
life.
Mm-mm.
It makes no damn sense. So hopefully they get to the bottom of that too.
Hmm. Yeah, we
This
put
poor
those in
lady.
garbage bags. We went back to get as much evidence out before my brother and the grandmother got there. When the OSBI got there, I gave my interview and I said, no one should have to see what I see. No one had to collect what I had to. I'm not a crime scene investigator. I'm not a police officer. I should not have had to see those things.
Yeah. In Astro, we agree on a lot of the stuff that you've been typing in. Trust me. I've even said the same things on the previous shows. I totally agree with what you're saying, and I've definitely said that. No, the next Idaho 4 show we'll be talking Idaho 4. Tomorrow night, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I know we are going to play some games. I'm not sure if I'm going to cover more Idaho 4. There is some new stuff that I have saved. But I'm not sure if I might cover another case we haven't talked, or just have like a open, we can talk about whatever case. I might even do a poll. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow night, but tomorrow night for sure we're gonna do, I would like to try and do the live call-in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I think that'd be a lot of fun, where I host the game show, and we can try the live call-in for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So there's just a few more minutes left of this, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the episode. And then I'll put out a post with the sports. I might even like change the name to like Sports and Game Show or something like that. But that's where we're going to do all that stuff, and this is going to be more of your interviews, world events, true crime cases, all of that stuff. So it'll just be separate from everything, because I don't know. I just kind of want to make sure it's kind of separate from all the other stuff, just in case. And plus the whole copyright stuff has got me nervous too. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'll definitely put a post out tomorrow with the link for the CJ Sports and then the game show stuff. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. And that's where I'll be shooting my pool when I'm streaming from now on. So, if you have a YouTube, Facebook, and you want to shoot some 8-ball or 9-ball against me, we can definitely play some pool on there too, because I do love that game. He was being very... It's just, yeah, I can't wait to talk to you, Astro. Either sometime this weekend or my night off is Wednesday. So definitely sometime this weekend or Wednesday for sure. We can definitely sit back and chat. Yeah, just email me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll definitely include that stuff on the next. There's a lot of new stuff for Idaho 4. We were just kind of chilling back talking about it earlier today. It was just more of just a chill back conversation. Even talked about some other stuff. So it was a really cool panel, really fun. Just kind of kicked back and talked about a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to talk some sports. I got a bunch of stuff saved up for the sports show that we get to check out. So, and I'd love to take your calls as well. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely go sub over there. I'll be putting out a post tomorrow on the community post on this channel for the other one as well.
I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. OSCI was amazing, but that's just there was just a lot of stuff that in time I really want to sit down and talk to someone about. I need to be sensitive to the victims, my own family members.
Why not
Some
now?
don't even know.
Oh, don't wait.
I stepped on a hypodermic needle. I got.
Then
I
can
just-
I
I don't
ask
even-
you? Can I ask you about the nature? I know this is extraordinarily difficult, but it is so critical, this evidence, because there may be other missing children out there.
Absolutely.
Can you tell
And
me
that
the nature of the Polaroids, the 4-inch stack of Polaroids?
There was a lot of pictures, not just Polaroids. I found probably 4 binders. They're about this thick. I started opening them up. The first thing was Jesse McFadden's psychological evaluation.
Wow.
Oh, I'm just trying to be so sensitive. I don't even know if I can publicly say some of the things that can be on TV.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And that's some S-ring type shit right there. The shit she's describing right now. Binders full of freaking stuff she doesn't even know if she can describe on TV.
That was my thought.
That's some shit. That's like some S-ring type shit. Oh,
Oh, I don't know.
thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that, Shazza. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out for this episode. I appreciate it. Definitely on the next Idaho 4 episode, we're going to be going into the grub truck video. Definitely want to go into that. I do want to do, I have my Google guy walking around episode where we're walking around at the property. And then a couple other episodes we did in the past where we'll be able to check it out, all the stuff again that they've kind of taken away. Still looking for that Papa Rogers live read through that I did. So if there's any sleuthers out there that want to go through all my videos and see where we talked about and did a live read through of the Papa Rogers post, please shoot me the episode. We've been trying to find that thing for a while now, and we can't find it. I was so horrible in the beginning at doing descriptions and stuff because I was just learning on my own. So I know the descriptions, it's horrible. You almost have to comb through each one until you can actually find the live read-through. Now, I do have screenshots and stuff, and I am going to get into those in the future too. But I'm just going to give it a few more days, see if we can try and find this live read through, and then and if not, then I'll do the screenshots. Yeah, Grizz, definitely. If you need any more links or documents, let me know about the Idaho Forest stuff. Got a lot of information. If you need anything, just let me know. I know you're pretty interested now. I could tell the other night, and it's definitely interesting when it comes to all the facts and everything. So I'm gonna let this one finish out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the show for the evening. Definitely go sub to CJ Sports Show channel, and I'll be doing some gaming when it comes to pool or maybe even some chess, Grizz. Maybe you and me can play a chess match on CJ Sports Show. What do you think, Grizz? You and me playing a game of chess. It's gonna be neat. And then we'll be doing our game show stuff too. I can't wait. Live call in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But yeah, definitely go sub that. We'll have a lot of fun over there too. Definitely talk about sports. I can't wait.
Were the pictures of children, and were they sexual in nature?
She saw the picture. Oh my
I don't want to
gosh.
talk about it, okay?
I understand.
Oh.
I
Were
promise.
you able to
when-
turn that? Were you able to turn
I
those
turned it-
photographs
I
over to
turned-
the police?
I turned everything I found. I turned over correspondence with other inmates. I turned everything over that I could find.
Thank you for watching.
Correspondence with other inmates.
Very disturbing. It leaves me at a loss. I don't even know what to say half the time with it anymore.
It just makes no damn sense.
Nope.
Makes no damn sense. All right, everybody. Ooh, let me put that back up here. This music. There we go. So we'll be definitely going into this in the future here. We'll be talking some more about it. There is a lot of stuff that I have a list of stuff that we kind of need to get into and check out. What's not there? What are you talking about? Cherry. But there's a list that I have of stuff that I need to kind of look through and look up when it comes to this case. So it's not going to be, we'll be having more cases. We'll still be talking Idaho 4 too. But we'll be discussing some of these other cases a little bit more each week. So there's going to be some combo shows. There's going to be some specific topic shows coming up, just to make sure that there's some other cases, because we used to just cover a crazy amount of cases all at once, but then it was like, well, you gotta start dedicating some shows to certain cases. So started doing that, but do need to definitely get to some of these other cases that we haven't covered for a while. So thank you everybody for hanging out. If you're on replay, I appreciate it. You chilling out and take some time to check it out. I'm going to put it in the description, part 1 and 2 of the interview that we checked out, part 3 tonight. And then you can have all the live commentary and all the discussions with that as well when it comes to the whole topic. And then there is other episodes that I covered on this topic from before we started listening to that interview. But what an interview from the aunt. And I appreciate her comfort coming up and talking. It'd be nice to be able to reach out to her and see if she'd ever like to hop on and talk. And Astra, please reach out to me an email, and we'll definitely sit down and have a conversation. Thank you for your comfort in sharing what you're sharing as well. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate you so much. And I'll put out a community post. Definitely go sub to the new channel, CJ Sports Show, where we're doing games and sports over there, game nights, and talking sports and stuff. And yeah, Grizz, man, let's play a game of chess on there sometime. CJ Sports Show. So, all right, I'll put out a post tomorrow, and if I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow on a case, I will. Papa Rogers. Oh yeah, Papa Rogers. I wish I could find that live read through just to see the live reaction, because I remember I was like, what the heck? Just with all the information that they were so adamant about, it was just creepy as hell. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a peaceful and positive evening, and I'll put out the information with what's going on next. And if I don't see you tomorrow night, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing some games, at least on CJ Sports Show. So definitely check it out over there. If you want to come in and hop in and play some games, Family Feud, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, such. And then if you like sports, definitely hang out on Sundays, because we'll be talking about all the sports. Can't wait. Good night, everybody. Thank you for your company. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you on the next show.
System malfunction. Welcome to the Pt3.